losing is a sin. Bulls light the lamp and the good gods win. Steel our lives and hearts on fire. Every goal takes us higher and higher. In the valley under the stars so bright, we fight for glory, we fight tonight. Our house, Bulls country, rulers of Cahaba Valley. Our house, Bulls country, rulers of Cahaba Valley. No, this ain't no rodeo. Bulls country, rulers of Cahaba Valley. Our house, Bulls country, rulers of Cahaba Valley. Our house, Bulls country, rulers of Cahaba Valley. Our house, Bulls country, rulers of Cahaba Valley. No, this ain't no rodeo.
Throughout my life, I have heard things like close but no cigar, hand grenades and horseshoes, a swing and a miss, so near but yet so far, or my favorite, just a frog's hair away. Well, all those things and more can be used to sum up the season so far for the Birmingham Bulls. In Game 1, the Bulls led 1-0 in the second period, but gave up a pair to trail 2-1 late in the third before a Birmingham Bull goal sent it to overtime. Evansville would win in a shootout. In Game 2, Birmingham took a 2-0 lead over Macon. Macon came back to tie the game not once but twice, and once again, the Bulls would lose in a shootout in consecutive games. Game 3 in Pensacola, Birmingham once again had a 1-0 lead, but surrendered 3 consecutive. We would wind up closing the gap to 3-2, but could not get the extra one to send it to overtime. Another one-goal loss for the Birmingham Bulls. Thursday night, the Bulls were all over Pensacola, leading 2-0 midway through the second. The Bulls gave up 4 consecutive goals, including an empty netter, to once again come up short. To make matters even more frustrating, Birmingham has hit the post or crossbar a total of 9 times in those 4 losses. 9 times. A centimeter separates what could have amounted to 9 goals, or only if half of those goals go in, well, we're talking about a completely different record, and the Bulls being in a completely different position than entering the game tonight. Hello again, everyone. Jody Cherniski here along with Greg Dreveny at the Pelham Civic Complex for tonight's game between the Birmingham Bulls and the Knoxville Ice Bills. The last time we saw this team, they were taking to Birmingham in the playoffs and eliminating us in the second round last spring. Knoxville has won their last 2 and is fresh off of a 2-0 shutout last night against Roanoke. There is no such thing as a must-win just 5 games into the season, but for the Bulls it sure feels that way. Birmingham must find a way to put together 60 minutes of hockey and get over that mental hurdle of an impending feeling of doom, wondering if the hammer is about to fall when we do good things and have a lead. Well, Greg, I don't really know what positivity I can bring out of this except to say we're as close to being 4-0 as we are right now at 0-2 or 0-1-2. What do you do here, Drev? I mean, we could be unbeaten as it stands right now. What gives with this Birmingham Bulls hockey team, and what transpires the last half of each game?
Oh, Jody, you're a young team. Young team coming into a new season. You just got your captain back last game. He's still trying to figure it out after coming back after injury. And as far as the Bulls go, I think every game they're going to get better. And that's what we have to look for. I mean, I thought that they were trending up in a serious fashion with Danny Waite coming in for the Bulls. I think he was a huge pickup.
Sure.
And, I think that the Bulls were a different team while he was in the game Thursday night versus after he took that hit behind the net and was put out. And then it just seemed to drop from a 9.9 on the Richter scale to a 8.5, and unfortunately 8.5 wasn't good enough to get it done that night.
Well, you mentioned he left the game early, and we both saw it when it happened. Both players, actually, that went into the boards had their sticks up, and I thought initially it was a collarbone situation for Danny. I'm still not sure what it is. We'll talk about that just in a few minutes. But both players came away from that hit. Both of them hurt him. And so it wasn't a dirty hit. It wasn't meant to hurt or injure anyone. Both players went into the boards hard. Both players wound up sore afterwards. For Danny, though, he took the hit and the next day went to the hospital for an MRI. Now, the last I was told about Danny and his test results were there wasn't a test result at this time. The doctors are still reading the MRI itself. Danny will not be in the lineup tonight, which is a huge loss for the Birmingham Bulls. You couple that along with Shane Murphy being on the IR, and you got two players that really are in the upper echelon of the Birmingham Bulls roster. What in the world do you do to replace that?
Well, you gotta look within, Jody, and that's the biggest thing. And for me, it's like through those first few games after seeing the guys in training camp, for the most part, everybody was improving, getting better, and then there were a couple of guys Thursday night that I don't know, what's going on that. You're here in a situation, it's a Thursday night game, one of the biggest games of the year to date, and they just didn't look as good and as fresh, and they weren't getting after it like they were earlier in the season, and that's going to be a problem. This is pro hockey, so every night when you step on the ice, if you're not coming out and playing for your job, chances are coaches are going to find somebody to replace you.
Rookies are impressionable. And Birmingham's loaded with them. 10 rookies on this team this year. Conversely, Knoxville comes into the game basically the same team they had last year that went to the finals. They only had 4. We're talking about 10 rookies to 4 for Knoxville. When you were talking about how you handle it, what you do with this bunch of hockey or young hockey players, as a coach, there's a very fine line you have to walk between berating, between screaming, yelling, undressing, embarrassing, whatever you want to call it. Professional hockey, you shouldn't have to worry about those things. But these 10 rookies for Birmingham aren't used to any type of that approach, if you will. So you were a coach, you were a player. What do you think the best way to handle a bunch of rookies are that are not, they're not competing the way you want to? Well, that's not true. I shouldn't say that. The results aren't there as of yet.
Well, I think for the most part, you just got to look at and dissect each individual guy's performance from night to night. And as guys start to trend down, you give them a warning and you say, hey, we need to pick it up. And if they don't go, I'll tell you, those guys coming through, the East Coast is releasing players every day, and there's teams above the Bulls that are releasing guys and putting them on waivers. And I know that's a crappy place to live, but I've been there, Jody, on both sides of the spectrum, and sometimes you just got to find a new home.
Well, it is a little early in the year to be talking about personnel changes, but and I really liked, both of us liked this team. We liked what we saw the first 2 games of the season, even though the wins weren't there. This team played good enough hockey to win both games. We liked the grit. We liked the determination. We liked how they wouldn't back down from a much bigger hockey team in Evansville. But at what point do you start saying to these guys, okay, thank you for the effort, but don't confuse efforts with results?
Well, it's one of those things, Joey, where you were 100% on the mark there, where from the Bulls standpoint, what we saw game 1, it was exciting hockey, but every guy gave everything that they had that night, and that was a new, refreshing experience. You know what I mean? Compared to other years where maybe you had more talent, maybe you had more years as far as veteran games under your belt as a team as a whole. However, if you don't get that effort that the Bulls had night one, you don't have the skill to compete without that effort every night.
All right, can we both agree tonight is not a must-win for the Birmingham Bulls? Do you agree with that statement?
I think every night's a must-win. I'm just
a win or loss tonight is not going to wind up determining if we make the playoffs or not. So my point is, it's getting to the point, though, Greg, where there's starting to be some distance put in between you as the Birmingham Bulls and the rest of the league. Case in point, Huntsville. They got 8 points coming into tonight's game. Huntsville is on the road at Quad City. Birmingham has 2. If Huntsville wins and we don't pick up a point, now we're talking about a huge difference of 8 points. And the gap between these teams continue to grow. At what point do you start saying, okay, it's not a must-win, guys, but let's go?
Well, it's still early, Jody, and that's what I'm talking about. Where, yeah, you may come into tonight's game and look at the standings and be like, oh my gosh, Bulls are in 10th place. You know what? With a win tonight, the Bulls can move up as high as 5th or 6th, depending on what everybody else does. And that's all I'm saying. When you have a young team, are you expected to win every night? Absolutely not. But what you want to be able to do, Jody, is you want to mix in a win here and there so that you maintain that spot in the standings where you may be 5th or 6th. And you know what? That's okay. Because with a young team, you're going to get better throughout the course of the season. And I don't want to peak right now. When do I want to peak? I want to peak the end of March going into April.
Yes,
and
exactly.
I don't care where you finish because 1 through 8 makes the playoffs. But you don't want to get behind the 8 ball like we did how many years ago when Hicksy was here. That was a tough year. You know what I mean?
That first year,
yeah.
17.
Yeah.
All right, starting lineups as we get set for the national anthem. First on defense for Knoxville will be Troy Button, another former Birmingham Bull, and Jared Cupp. Up front, Blake Tosto, along with Jason Branshaw and Ryan Kuzmich. For Birmingham defensively, Doug Scott was really a great addition to this Bulls lineup. He's solid behind that blue line. He'll be paired up along with Connor Scahill, who thus far, in my opinion, had the best goal or the prettiest goal Birmingham has had all year, a slap shot from just inside that blue line. Up front, we'll go with Colton Olenek, the captain of the Birmingham Bulls, McGregor Sinclair. Hold on, we'll get set for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
All right, to complete the Birmingham Bulls starting lineup, up front, Colton Olenek will center line with McGregor Sinclair and rookie Matt Wood. 4 goalies tonight. Stephen Mundinger gets the call again. He played last night at home against Roanoke and got the shutout. Mundinger has been a thorn in the side, to say the least, of the Birmingham Bulls for the last 2 years, coming to Knoxville from Pensacola. For Birmingham, Mundinger has a goals against average 4.11 and an 880 save percentage. For Birmingham, Hayden Stewart. He comes into the game with 0 wins, 1 loss, and a shootout loss, but a goals against average of 2.40 and a 928 save percentage. The referee tonight, Brett Straley, and the linesman, Ben Leeden and Colton Capel.
Well, Jody, for Mundinger, don't be fooled by that goals against average, because after reviewing the game footage from last night, Knoxville versus Roanoke, he came away with 38 saves. He shut him out 4-0, and he was first star. So, got to get on him early.
All right, here we go. Face off at center ice. Picked up by Bradshaw. He sends one in, a wrister right in on Hayden Stewart, who just gloves it, holds on. And 5 seconds into this game, we'll have a face-off to his right.
Well, that's one. Get that out of the way early, Jody.
If you're watching on Flow Sports Hockey TV, Birmingham is in the black jerseys. It's a Day of the Dead night or something to do with Halloween. I don't know. I can't keep up with all the jerseys that this league has. But Birmingham is in the dark jerseys. Knoxville is in the white. There's a shot from Tosta that goes into the netting out of play. What's your thoughts on all these crazy jerseys? I know it's kind of a must. It's minor league sports. It's the way it is. But I'm just old school, old-time hockey. I like black and white jerseys.
Well, yes, I like the Day of the Dead jerseys, Jody. We'll see how it fends out for the Bulls here tonight.
Off the draw, Birmingham clears the zone. Now puck is loose at center ice, put it right back into the Bulls zone where Scott has it. Doug Scott wraps one off the boards, trying to set it up for Woods. Broken up. Now the loose puck sent ahead by Knoxville. They'll change lines as the puck gets into the near right corner. Connor Scahill picks it up for the Bulls. Through center ice for Wood. Now Birmingham will change line. Vadim Frolov going in after it. Along with Cam Toby of Knoxville. Puck comes to center ice where Gagnon has it. He'll slide it over to his partner, Youngworth. And the puck makes it deep into the Knoxville zone. Frolov off the boards, back at the point for Youngworth. Return for Frolov, a shot from right on top of the goal line in the corner. Mundinger was there. I'm not sure Mundinger expected him to shoot, but a nice shot by Frolov.
Well, that's it. You want to catch him on weird angle shots, Jody. Shoot when the goalie doesn't expect it. And I'll tell you what, you watch Frolov out there, because for a guy who came out in his first shift, his hair was blowing in the wind. The kid was skating, giving everything he's got, and that's what I'm looking for tonight out of every one of these Bulls players.
Off the draw, Frolov gets it. His shot is deflected off the glass, trying to get his own rebound. It's knocked away from him and played by Knoxville behind their own net. Former Bull Carson Vance. Long pass up through center ice. Tipped in by Williams. Their leading scorer, Tyler Williams. Played around the near side for Gagnon. Pass right through the slot off the skate of Sereski. Knoxville will punt it back in. Birmingham fortunate that Knoxville didn't pick that pass up on the fly. Now Dowling had the puck, lost it, tipped away from him. Gagnon tries to get it out. Birmingham Sereski picks it up, playing with a full bubble. Gives it ahead to Gronick. Kyron Gronick knocked off the play by Dower, and it's picked up by 6'9", 240-pound Robin Lilliquist of Knoxville. Yes, I didn't stutter. 6'9". The only player I've seen that tall is Zdeno Chara of the Boston Bruins. But he's out there now. Birmingham with the loose puck. Sends one to center ice. Lost. There's a shot by Kip Ledzianko. As Brendan Dowler had the puck, he heard or either saw it at the corner of his eye, Kip Ledzianko coming, and he may have panicked a little bit and gripped his stick tight, caught the puck up, but Kip couldn't convert. Face off in the Knoxville zone.
Well, and that's one thing, Jody, being a 6'9" defenseman, you know, there's going to be pros and cons to your game. One pro is your reach, but so far the con is footwork.
Off the draw, Knoxville controls. Caffarelli just picked up yesterday. This is the puck. Off! There's a puck. A shot on goal. Left skate save made by Stewart off the stick of Gaeta. Davide Gaeta. I'm going to have trouble with that all night long. Icing is called on the Birmingham Bulls. There's a couple of players for Knoxville that I've had to stop and pause and think about. Davide Gaeta. Can you remember that one?
I sure can. I'll tell you there, Caffarelli, he really hit a burst up there on that left side, Jody, cutting in on that shooting lane. Came all the way through the slot, and Hayden Stewart had to stay right with him. That was a big save.
It was held pointless last night against Roanoke as the shot bounces into the mitt of Hayden Stewart. Pointless last night, but we both know the kid can play hockey, and it looks like he's found some legs tonight. He looks a little quicker than his line mates. Birmingham will send out Soretsky along with Froloff as the puck is dropped, picked up by Scott. Almost lost his skate, but he managed to clear the zone off the boards into the Knoxville zone. Played around near boards. Branshaw has it. Taken away from him for the mullet by Soretsky. Now it's loose at center ice. Birmingham will maintain it. Froloff backhands one into Soretsky. Far face-off circle. Save made by Mundinger. Rebound bounced off a Knoxville player right into Mundinger, and he'll just stop it and hold on. Mundinger himself is 6'8".
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. You see those plays there, Jody. Good low shots on Mundinger. You know what? Keep the shots away from his gloves. He's got a good glove hand. You want to hit him low in the pads, and then that's what you're looking for. Crash in the front of the net.
Off the draw, Carson Vance has it. Pass through center ice. Tried to connect for Williams. Scahill has the puck, though, behind his goal line. Gets it up, but not out. Karan had a chance. Now Birmingham picks the puck up, far side. Birmingham will change lines as Cam Tobin tips it up to Tyler Williams. Through center ice, brings it into the Bull zone. Williams fanned on the shot. Loose puck now near boards, picked up by the Bulls. Puck lifted into center ice. Karan was there, as is Kennedy. Still loose. Kennedy will bring it in. Drops it back, and a backhand one into the far corner for Birmingham. No one there but Knoxville. Tyler Williams with the puck. He gets away from Youngworth. Williams brings it into the Bull zone. 3 defensive players back. No call as he went down. There's a shot taken, deflected into the netting, out of play. But that one could have been, that one had the markings, Greg, of something bad happening. One guy beat 3 Bulls defenders, but they just couldn't get the right shot off.
Well, it is. And if you remember, Williams, he was, wasn't he Rookie of the Year last year?
Right.
And I remember him scoring one coming across the center, beating Hayden Stewart, low blocker last year, just like that when they didn't pick him up on the play.
There's a shot. Stewart gets his shoulder on that one off the draw. Puck played by Dowler back behind the net, giving chase is Gagnon. He couldn't catch up with it as Lilliquist, the big 6'9" defenseman from Sweden, keeps it alive. Still in the Bull zone. Gaeta with the puck, gets past Phil Edzianka, almost tipped it at a breakaway. Lilliquist has it out for Knoxville, sends a shot in, deflected, save made by Stewart. Good low shot by Lilliquist, and here's Phil Edzianka. He had it for a moment, couldn't break free, couldn't get control. They tied him up just at the last second, and the puck is loose, back into the Bulls zone. Far side, Bulls have it. Colton Olenek is there, gives it to Sinclair, brings it into the Knoxville zone. Tried to set it up for Sadowski. It was broken up. Matt Wood will pick it up for the Bulls. Plays it down low for Olenek. Tipped off the play by Lilliquist. Now puck tied up along the far boards. It comes free for... That was Cup, and he'll send it to center ice. Branshaw has it. Brings it into the Bull zone. Puts the brakes on. Played behind the net for Kuzmich. Back at the boards for Cup. Knocked away from him. Matt Wood had it. Just couldn't control it. He was gone on a breakaway. Birmingham with possession in their own zone. Tips it to center ice off the stick of Sinclair. But Wood was in ahead of the play, and offside is called on the Birmingham Bulls.
Wood had the right idea there, Jody. Made a good play, knocking that one down, batting it down, coming across the blue line. And Frolov was over on the far side, just in front of the linesman, and just leaned over and took his skate off the blue line, and that's what put him offside there.
Knoxville, the first 2 games of the year, had a rough go of it. They lost their first 2 games of the year by a score of 7-1. But since then, they've won their last 2, both of them over Roanoke. And as I said earlier on, last night a 2-0 shutout by the Ice Bears. They did lose one of their goaltenders, Tyreek Alton, who's placed on the 30-day IR. I saw the play, Greg. He stuck his left leg out, and traffic in the crease, somebody careened into him, kind of crashed into him. He finished the rest of the game, but the next day he goes on the 30-day IR.
Right. Well, it's one of those things where Williams, I think he had 2 goals last night, Jody, and that's a kid. Whenever he touches the puck, I want somebody putting a body on him.
Sarisky, Frolov, and Gronick out for Birmingham. Karapov, Andrew Karapov, that is. He's out with Jimmy Soper. Troy Button and Cup. The puck was dropped, but they'll do it again. I guess someone moved prematurely. I can't see who the left winger is there lined up besides Gronick. I believe it's Tyler Williams. Off the draw, loose, picked up by the Bull Scahill. He'll just tip one in behind Mundinger. He plays it over to Cup. Off the boards, off of the stick of Soper. Tried to get it up into the zone for Birmingham. Is tied up into the corner. Played along the near boards. Back at center ice. 2-on-1 if we can get that first Cup giving chase. He beat Frolov to the puck, and Jimmy Soper just turns and clears it. Didn't like the numbers on that. Icing will be called on Knoxville. 14-11 to go. First period, no score.
And this is Birmingham hockey, Joey. This is exactly what the Bulls have to do. You have to stay in their face and not give them time to get anything set up. You see Knoxville in that situation. They look up, they see nothing but black jerseys coming at them, so what do? They just turn and they just send it down the ice.
One of Birmingham's most productive lines, Phil and Kip Ledzianko out with Shane Murphy, Sean Kennedy, but off the draw, Knoxville controls. Williams gets it ahead for Karapov. Trying to return there. Soper, he scores. He picked a loose puck up right in the slot, Greg, and didn't waste any time. Slap shot upstairs, 1-0 Knoxville.
Broken play, Jody, comes down. They got a good 2-on-2 going there, and that's the same thing that we had the other night. It's that high guy. And Soper came in as a high guy. The puck hits the defender in the pad, comes out into the slot. Soper just steps into it, takes a rip inside the post, and we talked about 9 posts earlier. Well, that one hit the right side of the post for Knoxville, and into the net it goes.
Well, we need some of those bounces to go Birmingham's way as well. Last year, Jimmy Soper had 13 goals and 16 assists. He picks up his first of the season here. We'll get the assist in a moment. As off the draw, Birmingham has him. They'll skate away 3-on-2. Kip Ledzianko had it bounce off his skate, so he'll have to send it around near side for Kennedy. Centering pass. Kip Ledzianko score! Off the stick of Phil Ledzianko. Kip right there in the spot, 5 foot away from Mundinger, and he ties his hockey game up at 1.
We talked about it earlier, Jody. Mundinger's weakness, you want to get him moving east to west and scramble, get him turning and twisting, because one-on-one he's a big body and he covers all the holes well. And the Ledzianko's exposed it there with Kennedy, moving it from the left side of the ice to the right, back to the left, back across here, over and back. And next thing you know, he's on his knees, spinning around open net, and the Bulls tie it up.
That's a big goal right there to come out for the first time this year, Greg. We didn't score the first goal of the game and wound up trailing, but just that quickly, the Ledzianko-Kennedy line brings us right back in. We're a 1-1 hockey game. Here's the call.
Kip Ledzianko, his second goal of the season. The assist number 23, Phil Ledzianko, and number 11, Sean Kennedy. And first Bulls goal.
So that line we just spoke of, the most productive line Birmingham has, answers it right back as a loose puck in the Knoxville zone comes right in on Mundinger, and he covered it. Now Olnick, a little pushing and shoving with Williquist. Olnick not quite 6'9" though, as Williquist is, so maybe Colton needs to back up a little bit.
Well, I think Olnick, he was pushing and shoving somebody else, Jody. I don't think that was on his radar. I think he was pushing Tosto there to get it going, and Williquist jumped in and said, hey, I'm the muscle around here.
Time to get some secondary scoring goals going here. That goal by Kip Ledzianko is second of the year, only 18 seconds after Knoxville had taken a 1-0 lead. Off the draw, Karapov brings it into the Bulls zone, takes a shot, just missed that far post he had. Hayden Stewart beat. Loose puck picked up by Knoxville, far side Cup. Jared Cup gives it for Karapov. Birmingham takes it away. That's Scahill with the puck. He'll just send it near side and out to center ice. Played by Troy Button into the Bulls zone. Karapov muscling his way past Gronick. Loose puck now top of the face-off circle, controlled by Williams. Tyler Williams goes down off a shove from Gronick. Loose puck picked up in the corner by the Bulls. Try to get it out. Look out. Scott had it deflected almost right into his own netminder. It's cleared by the Bulls, and Mundinger plays it to the near boards. Jimmy Soper gives it up for Cup. And Jared Cup knocks one back into center ice into the Bulls zone. Was picked up by Gagnon. Jordan Gagnon. Far side for Kennedy. It's coming in. Kennedy had a chance at it. Now the play is whistled dead. They're going to call, I believe, a high stick.
So high stick, or I think he actually punched the puck coming in. They're going to call out a glove pass. Bring it back. Nonetheless, there'll be a face-off here in front of Knoxville's bench in the neutral zone.
Right in that face-off dot outside the blue line. 12-12 to go, first period. Birmingham and Knoxville tied at 1. Off the draw, Gagnon has it. Slides it over for Youngworth. They'll send it into the Knoxville zone, giving chase. Kennedy gets his up with it first. Kennedy pressured by Toby. Gagnon keeps it alive. Whips one around the boards, far corner. Picked up by Olsen. Eric Olsen sends one deep in the Bull zone, and icing will be called on Knoxville. Out for Knoxville right now on this line. Will have to stay on the ice is Eric Olsen, Cam Toby, Carson Vance, as I said, a former Bull, along with Noah Finstrom and Gaetti. Gaeta. I told you I'd have trouble with his name.
I haven't seen Leo a whole lot.
No, and we expected to, but Paxton LaRue, as Greg is talking about, is kind of, he's a rough, tough guy. That's about the best way to put it. We haven't seen him yet, but I have a feeling we will. Now Sinclair has it far boards, had it taken away from him. Gaeta loses it at center ice. Olsen has it. He just turns, spins, and sends it in. Colton Olenek popped him. Icing will be called on Knoxville. But you don't see Colton Olenek deliver hits like that very much.
Well, you don't, but that's the first neutral zone hit I've seen tonight, and I'm glad to see Olenek do it, Jody, because that has to send a message to the rest of the guys on the team, because we got to start getting in the way of these Knoxville Ice Bears coming through the neutral zone. So they got a quick transition game.
Well, Colton Olenek wears the C for Birmingham, so there is some example he needs to be setting as well, and plays like that go a long way in doing so. Off the draw, Noah Finstrom has it, cuts behind his own net. Off the boards. Gaeta loses it, but it's picked up by Olsen. Eric Olsen brings it into the Bull zone. Lost it, picked up by Gagnon. Now it's loose. Far face-off circle. Birmingham finds the puck. This one into the Knoxville zone. Colton Olenek giving chase along with Cam Toby, who catches up with it first. And Knoxville will clear.
That's two good hits by Olenek.
Gaeta brings it in the Bull zone, gets past Sadowski, centers one through the crease, nobody there. Tosto has the puck for Knoxville. Cuts it behind the net. Gaeta back to Dowler. There's Lilliquist with a wrister from just inside the blue line. Hayden Stewart's off the whole way, and you heard the mitt pop, and he holds it for a face-off.
Good job there by the Bulls on defense, Jody. Keeping Knoxville to the outside, not giving them any steps to the middle. And that's where they ran into a little bit of trouble last game, giving away that high cycle. And I like that. Hayden Stewart will stop those all day long, especially if we don't have any traffic in front of them.
We do have a different setup tonight. Technically, hopefully, YouTube audio is sounding a little better. If you're listening to YouTube audio, please go on to the chat that we have set up and let us know at the very least if you can hear it properly or not. Off the draw, the puck is in the Knoxville zone, played by Lilliquist out. Puck along the far board in the Bull zone, picked up by Vadim Frolov. Frolov had it taken away from him. Now it's loose. Still loose. Frolov will come away with the puck. Sets it up near side. For Soreski, he's tied up in front of the Knoxville bench. Puck still loose. Kuzmich will come away with the puck. Lilliquist with it, and he'll drop it back for Jared Cup. Knoxville changing, just taking the time to do so. Puck spun around the boards. Phil Edzianko couldn't catch up with it. Linesman kind of impeded his progress, but Birmingham has control. Phil Edzianko backhands one around. Stopped by Mundinger. Played along the far boards. Knoxville has it, and they'll clear. Picked up by Doug Scott of Birmingham. Out through center ice. Phil Ledzianko had it taken away by Cup, and Knoxville skates away. Tyler Williams gets past Kennedy. Sends a shot in. That never made. Kennedy blocked it before it got to Stewart. There's a shot taken by Kurapov. It's still loose. Stewart made the initial save, but we lost sight of the puck. There's another shot saved. Made it a good one by Stewart off his shoulder. Knoxville buzzing at this time. Birmingham just needs to clear. Kennedy with the puck now at center ice. Line change for the Bulls as they'll send it in deep. Jerry Cupp picks it up for the Knoxville Ice Bears. Deflected into the Bulls zone by Williams. Played around the near side. Caffarelli with the puck. He loses it. Bulls take it away. Played by Olenek to Wood and out. Carson Vance now has it in his own zone. Banks went off the boards into the far corner. Olenek for Birmingham. Shuffles it behind the net. McGregorson there. Sinclair picks it up. Back at the blue line. Played by Youngworth. Wood cruising in front. Couldn't get position. Played by Sinclair in the near corner. Sinclair hit by Vance. Cam Toby picks the loose puck up. Gagnon hits his player, but nonetheless, Knoxville clears. Tyler Williams, it doesn't seem like comes off the ice. Has the puck far side. Curls around. Slap shot. Never made it through as Gagnon blocked a Lilliquist shot who seems to have taken one out the face. And Birmingham clears. Played in the Knoxville zone. Brendan Dowler has it. Gets away from one Bull who lost it. That was Soretsky. Goes down on the play. Now it's fired at center ice. Here come Knoxville. Caffarelli didn't call offside. It was close. Birmingham will pick the loose puck up. And back the other way comes Karan. Gets it past Dowler. Rides him into the boards. Loose behind the net. Lilliquist had it. Jumps the puck. Goes right out in front of that near post. Birmingham couldn't hammer it. Played into the corner. Bulls have it back at the blue line for Dorsey. Dorsey sends a shot. It banked off his own player who actually stopped it from going. Karan blocked the shot from Dorsey, and the whistle blows. Icing is called on Knoxville with 7:20 to go here in the first period. Play score tied at 1. I repeat, we're trying our best to get this YouTube audio taken care of. It is a free way for you to listen to the Birmingham Bulls, but we're trying our best to make it worth its while to tune in. Over the past few games, it hasn't been quite so good. We've got a new piece of equipment that hopefully is making it sound at least a little stronger signal, at least be able to hear. So if you are listening on the audio portion of YouTube, please go to the chat and let us know how it sounds.
On that last flurry, Jody, Knoxville, Scahill made a great play on defense by the Bulls. That puck came up, hit Stewart up in the top shoulder, and it goes back to that old saying that we have, let the goalie worry about the puck. Scahill boxed out his guy. He got his stick up off the ice, and it gave Hayden Stewart a chance to get over and make the second save. But the most dangerous guy, Scahill did a good job of tying him up and making sure he couldn't get a stick on that loose puck.
Sadowski will be out with Dorsey on defense. The Ledzianko with Kennedy for Birmingham. Brendan Dowler and the 6'9" Robin Lilliquist on defense for Knoxville. Gaete is out, along with Olsen, who takes the draw, wins it, sends it far side. Birmingham had a chance at it, but Sadowski couldn't control the puck. Now it's played along the far boards. Phil Ledzianko fighting for it. Comes free for Caffarelli. He loses it. Nice airing pass to Kennedy. A shot. Save made by Mundinger under that left arm. He squeezed that left arm to the side of his body and held the puck before it went in, or he coughed it up for a rebound.
Talk about hand-eye foot coordination by Kennedy there, Jody. Pass came from the far wall. It was behind Kennedy, and he kicked it up from behind his back using his left skate up to his stick. He got a good shot off on Mundinger. That's a great play there.
Face off to the right of Stephen Mundinger. Phil Ledzianko on the draw for the Bulls. Hosto won it, gets it back for Jared Cupp. Knoxville couldn't clear. Now it's loose. Birmingham lost a stick. Played by Tosto. Cross-ice pass. Here comes Knoxville. Back into the Bull zone. There's a centering pass. That one almost deflected in off a Bull player. Ledzianko takes it ahead. Look out. Here comes Wood. Along Wood. Forehand back and score! Nice move, Matt Wood. He almost skated past an outstretched Stephen Mundinger, and that stick handling. And a nice feed. Sending him out alone, and Birmingham takes a 2-1 lead.
Another great heads-up play there, Jody. You saw it. Mundinger had him. If he would have shot, Mundinger had it, but he faked it, pulled it back at the last second, throw up the snow, quick edge, forehand, backhand, forehand, bang.
Matt Wood picks up his first goal of the season. The rookie gives the Bulls a 2-1 lead. We'll get the call in just a minute, but we know Ledzianko is going to get one assist. I don't know if there will be a secondary one or not, but we'll find out. Vance now off the draw. Sends it back into the Bulls zone. It gets past Sinclair. Here's the call.
Bulls scorer, number 48, Matt Wood. His first goal as a Bull. The assist for the 23, Phil Ledzianko. And first Bulls goal scored at 13:20 of the first period, number 48.
Olenek had a chance at it. Now we're saying man it flicked over the net, just fluttered over it. Picked up by Jimmy Soper behind the net. Birmingham starting to apply some pressure. That second goal put a little life into them. Tyler Williams will bring the puck back into the Bulls zone. Centers one for Soper. It gets past him. Knoxville maintains control. Carson Vance just inside his blue line had his shot blocked, and he'll have to retreat. Under 6 minutes to go. Birmingham now up 2-1. 6 minutes in the first period, that is. There's Vadim Frolov trying to set up Gagnon down the slot, but an icing will be called. Gagnon didn't touch it. So an icing brings the puck back down into the Bulls zone.
And that's what I'm talking about, Jody. That's Caron, the converted defense to forward out there, getting the shift up front. And you saw the pressure that he put on the point there. And I'm telling you, that's exactly what it takes. You don't want to give him time to set up, and the Bulls got to keep their feet moving. So far, so good. I like what I see so far tonight.
Face off in the Bulls zones. Soreski on the draw for Birmingham. Played by the Bulls. Olsen was on the draw for Knoxville. He gets past everyone back into the Knoxville Ice Bear zone. Brendan Dowler picks it up. Forechecking is, but Frolov forces him to skate away, and he does. Brings it into the Bulls zone. He couldn't get past Gagnon, though. Now it's loose along the far boards. Picked up by Frolov. Pressured by Dowler. Frolov will just lift one back into center ice, almost into the Bulls bench. Caron gives it to Soreski as the Bulls change lines, and he'll dump it deep. 5:10 to go, first period. Birmingham 2, Knoxville 1. As Lilliquist gingerly and slowly skates through center ice, backhands one to the Bulls blue line. A lot of size, but you know what, Greg?
Yep.
You got to play hockey too. You can't just be big. Puck picked up at center ice. Noah Finstrom sees one in, was played by Hayden Stewart, back around for Phil Ledzianko. Sets it up for Kennedy to Kip. Kip puts the brakes on, tried to set it up for Phil, just out of his reach. Back at the blue line, Sadowski has it. Tosto is there and tips his pass away, and the puck comes free to center ice. Birmingham in their own zone. Youngworth off the board to center ice. McGregor Sinclair drops it for Kennedy, who will come off now. Mundinger plays it around the far boards for Cup. He loses it, but picks it on his own self or own pass up. Carson Vance hits it ahead and tipped into the Bulls zone by Caffarelli. Dorsey will play it. Sadowski got it out. Vance keeps it from going anywhere but just outside the blue line, and the puck finds the stick of Sadowski. Now Wood tips it into the Knoxville zone, and they'll clear back to center ice. There's a pass for Soper. Into the slot, takes a shot, leg save made by Stewart, and that was a tough one. As Birmingham picks the loose puck up, that's Vadim Frolov starting to look a little better out there, Greg. In every game, I don't know if it's confidence or just taking control, but Vadim Frolov looks different tonight than he has any other night. Played behind the Bulls net. Tyler Williams hit on the play by Soreski, coughs the puck up. Now it's loose along the near side into the corner. Carson Vance pinching in from the blue line, keeps it alive. Cam Toby with it, sends a wrister down low, stick to side by Stewart. And Caron has it. Dangerous pass right through the middle of the ice. Luckily for Birmingham, we'll take it and send it deep. Mundinger plays it. Linesman helps Birmingham out to keep it alive, and at least enough time for a line change for Birmingham, and Vance has it behind his own net. Soper through center ice. Taps it in the Bull zone. Now it's played by Kip Ledzianko. He'll drop it back for Doug Scott, and now here come the Bulls the other way. Scott avoids the check of Soper. Almost in the end, Caffarelli alone, but Birmingham sends the puck into the near corner of Knoxville. Now it's touched up, and we're going to have a tripping call. Is that our knee?
Well, that's
the referee signaled knee.
That's going to be Soper at center. Jody stepping up on Wood, trying to make that play, and Wood at the last second just pulled away. He got up on one skate and tried to avoid that hit because Soper had him lined up. He did. I mean, that's what you're looking to do.
He did stick the leg out and think about it.
Right.
He didn't make contact, but the intent was there.
Right.
That's the penalty is called.
Ed Wood not done such a good job getting away from that initial hit. Soper would have smashed him, a.k.a. Brian Marshman, back in the 84. But nonetheless, he did catch him with the knee at the last second. So good job by Wood to avoid that hit. And Soper will go to the box for two.
Birmingham on the power play this year, second in the league. 4 power play goals and 14 attempts, good for 28%. On the other hand, for Knoxville, they're the third best penalty killing team in the league. They've only given up 1 power play goal on 9 shorthanded opportunities. Face off in the Knoxville zone. Phil Ledzianko on the draw for Birmingham. He wins it, gets it back to Olenek for Sadowski. Near side, Phil Ledzianko along the boards, taps it back for Sadowski. Return for Phil Ledzianko. Down low, played it for Wood. He couldn't control it. He'll send it far side for Kip Ledzianko. Now Wood comes in to try and keep the possession with Birmingham. Back at the point, is played almost out. Sadowski barely keeps it alive. Kip Ledzianko centers one back for his brother Phil. Top of the face-off circle. Back for Sadowski. His shot is blocked by Tyler Williams, and Williams will take the puck and fire it the length of the ice. A minute 20 remaining on the Bulls power play. A minute 45 remaining in the first period. Bulls up by 1 as Phil Ledzianko sends it far corner. Phil Ledzianko has it. Tips it back for Sadowski. Return to Phil. Kevin Sadowski playing the point. Birmingham's Kip Ledzianko just missed on that pass. He didn't fire it correctly, and Branshaw tips it back into the Bull zone. 50 seconds of power play time remaining for Birmingham. Sadowski sends it up far side. Soreski will send it into the near corner. Kennedy giving chase along with Williams. Loose. Picked up by Eric Olsen easily. No one around him. He just fires it back into the Birmingham zone. Under a minute to go here in the first period. 25 seconds of power play time remaining. Maybe time for one last rush, one last opportunity. Kennedy has it, sends it to center ice ahead for Sinclair. He drops it for Soreski. Return for Soreski behind the Knoxville net. Centers a pass. Frolov basically fanned on it. Parked out to that left face-off circle. Now the puck is loose and sent back into the Bull zone. That'll do it for the power play. As Soper is back on the ice, picks up that puck right as he hops out of the penalty box. Luckily for Birmingham, he stopped him as Kip Ledzianko avoids the hit from Button, sends it into the far corner. Knoxville's cut. Long pass ahead through center ice. Gagnon maybe should have let that one go for an icing, but he plays it. Nice tip ahead for Phil Ledzianko. Ledzianko takes a shot right into the midsection of Mundinger, and he just squeezes it there with 6.2 seconds remaining here in the first period of play. Birmingham 2, Knoxville 1.
Well, and that was, Mundinger looked a lot better on that shot, Jody, but I was just going to say, just before that, it's unfortunate the Bulls didn't get a shot off that actually got through on that power play, because ever since Mundinger let in that second goal, he's really been struggling out there and just hasn't looked like himself. So I'd be throwing everything on net that I could here in the last 6 seconds.
Under 5 seconds to go, Knoxville controls the draw. Look out, that one whipped around the glass into the stands. I'm not sure if it got anybody or not. There's a crowd around somebody down there, but that puck got out quickly, Greg.
Yeah, it sure did. And you heard the thud, Jody, and you get to know the sounds of the rink, and luckily, after coming around that glass, you heard it hit the plastic of the seat. So that's the good thing. So there's another free puck, courtesy of the Birmingham Bulls. Some fan take home a good souvenir.
Less than a second to go, and nothing really is going to happen here as the horn goes, the buzzer sounds, and we're going to the locker room at the end of 20 minutes of play. Jordan Gagnon and Carson Vance having words with each other, and it doesn't matter right now. They'll go into the locker room and calm down somewhat. But Birmingham takes that lead 2-1 into the locker room after 1 period to play against the Knoxville Ice Bears. Greg, what are your thoughts, at least comparatively, between the first period tonight of the Birmingham Bulls and what we saw 2 nights ago?
Well, Jody, it's one of those things where, in my mind, the way I come in, I know that I'm just a color commentary guy, and I look at it. But from a hockey standpoint, I come in and everybody's somewhere in my lineup from top to bottom based on how they played last game. And there were certain guys that I really questioned the effort. And tonight, I'm seeing some of those guys are moving up in the roster, and I think that's the difference from top to bottom. The Bulls have to go like they did the first night. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you mentioned a couple guys tonight that you're very impressed with, and those were a couple guys that I was like, last game, I know that guy's got more. Where is it? And I'm seeing it tonight, and the Bulls are up 2-1. So that's what I mean. When you have a young team like this, and it's either all or nothing. You know what I mean? Either everybody pulls the rope for 60 minutes and you come away with a positive outcome, or if guys take shifts off and it's like the weakest link in the armor. The Bulls cannot have a weak link at any time for the 60 minutes, and so far tonight, I'm very pleased with what I'm seeing.
Well, what kind of a mentality you think Birmingham has? Remember, the first 4 games of the year, we jumped out to a 1-0 and 2-0 lead. And then that, we got to lead. What's going to happen bad is going to happen. They started thinking about it. Tonight, for the first time of the year, Knoxville, an opponent of ours, takes an early lead. Birmingham not only responded, but scored a goal 18 seconds after Knoxville took that lead and haven't really calmed down since.
Well, and that's, you check the box, right? And it's one of those things where the Bulls, hey, we get the lead, we couldn't hold it. But you know what? Tonight, they got behind a goal, but they came back. Right. Immediately, bang. Hey, you don't think that raises confidence on the bench and, across the whole arena? And then they come back and they score again. So now, not only do you know you can come back from down a goal, now you know you can come back and get 2 when you're down a goal. And it's just little things like that as a team matures, it's all about experience and confidence.
You know, what is it about it, too, when you got 10 rookies on your team like Birmingham does? Confidence does play a big part in it. But at what point, like I mentioned with Vadim Frolov, do you say, listen, I just got to be more aggressive and take those chances as a rookie? And maybe a rookie's role is not to be that quite aggressive, but you can see a difference in Frolov in the way he's playing tonight.
You can 100%, and I'm telling you, it's that difference. You're 5 games in, Jody, and is 5 games the number? I don't know, but between 5 and 10, you see guys settle in, and Frolov, for one, is having a heck of a game tonight, and I'm glad that I see that, because this is what I saw that kid in camp, and I said, hey, here's a guy who's going to contribute this year. And then it's kind of like, you get into the ice time thing, and what line am I on, and blah, 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 but as he gets more ice time, he's definitely moving his feet, he's in quick on the forecheck, he's throwing his body around, he's making it happen, and you know what? Everybody's following suit. And Olenek, he's out there tonight setting the stage. He had 2 big hits that one shift, a good hit in the neutral zone. And I'm telling you, it's those little things, and they're contagious.
Well, let me say something, too, about Frolov. Last year, Vadim Frolov played in the Federal Hockey League, and he averaged basically a point a game. When he came into this season, I was really looking forward to seeing what he could do. I like what I saw in his previous year's stats, but as the season started, I'll put it this way. I'm not sure how much or how well in his past Vadim Frolov has been coached. It looked like to me when he came in he had never been coached before in his life. And then Craig Simchuk and Kevin Kerr got a hold of him, and like you just said, it's 5 games into the season. It looks like he's starting to see a little bit of light here.
Absolutely. Because now, instead of working inside of a vacuum by yourself, Jody, that you can do in the Federal Hockey League, you have to learn to work within where you need it on the team, what your role is, and what are you supposed to do. Is Frolov going to put up the points that he put up last year? Probably not. But he might put up half of what he put up last year, and if he skates the forechecks like he does here and creates time and space for other guys on his line, that's exactly what he's here for.
Well, Vadim Frolov, he can throw his body around, he can throw his weight around, and he can also throw a few punches if needed. We've seen that as well. And I'll be honest with you, we had a great crowd filing into the Pelham Civic Complex tonight. I'm not sure what the county is, but it's probably the best crowd we've had since opening night.
Oh, yeah.
That said, this crowd is itching for a player like Frolov to come in and make the boards rattle and the glass wave back and forth with these hits, and every once in a while, as needed, throwing a few punches. If that kid can figure it out, this crowd will love him. He will become a fan favorite in Birmingham overnight.
Well, that's like I say, you want to play hockey in Birmingham, you want to be the mayor of Birmingham, it's exactly what you got to do. All you got to do is come out, throw the body around, and drop your gloves every once in a while in a home game, and they will love you forever.
All right, we're just in between the first and second period, about 12 minutes to go before we start the second period of play. I had hoped, because he's in the building, I had hoped to interview Danny Waite's father, Doug Waite. Yeah, that's the same Doug Waite that all us old hockey fans remember, 19 years in the NHL, won a cup with Carolina. He's in the Edmonton Oilers Hall of Fame, traded for a Hall of Famer in Esa Tikkanen. I really would love to find him and talk to him, but it's not that easy because I don't know him personally. So I've asked a few players, a few people downstairs to help me out. Maybe we can get a hold of him between the second and third period, but not right now. So we'll take a break. Jody Chernesky here along with Greg Dreveny at the Pelham Civic Complex at the end of one period of play. Birmingham 2, Knoxville 1. This is Birmingham Bulls hockey. Jody Chernesky back here at the Pelham Civic Complex along with Greg Dreveny, about set for second period action. At the end of one period of play, Birmingham up by a score of 2-1. First period scoring at 5:58, Jimmy Soper. The assist to Tyler Williams and Andrew Kurapop. That gave Knoxville a 1-0 lead. Birmingham answered 18 seconds later. Kip Lezianko from his brother Phil and Sean Kennedy, and Matt Wood gets the go-ahead goal for Birmingham at 13:20 of the first assist. Go to Phil Lezianko, his second of the night, and we're underway. Knoxville with the puck at center ice. Kuzmich had it, lost it, gets it right back, and backhands one in. Played behind the Bulls net, Doug Scott with the puck. Drops it off to his partner, Scahill. Laid in front of the Bulls bench. Now it's loose, picked up by Blake Tosto. They'll set it up far side for Jason Branshaw. Brings it into the Bulls zone. Flickers one right in on Stewart, looking for a rebound that wasn't there. Stewart covered it up, and a face-off will come up to his left, just underway here in the second period.
Wide open action again here, starting off the second, Jody. Both teams got their feet moving. Entered both ends, and that's good to see for the Bulls. Keep it moving, keep that puck through the neutral zone. They want to send it, get it deep here and behind the Knoxville D, and put that pressure in on Mundinger.
Face off in the Knoxville zone. Soreski for Birmingham. Now the referee and linesman are discussing something here in the near corner. Still waiting on now. Referee having a talk with Bulls netminder Hayden Stewart. Well, Greg, what do you think that's about?
I don't know, maybe he's wanting him to play that puck, that dribble in on him, but if I'm Stewart, I want to slow it down.
Heck with that. I'm in my position, you call your game. Face off the draw, controlled by Knoxville around the near side. Kurapov had it, lost it. Soreski sends it around the boards, and Furlock tips it ahead. Gronick now. Gets one past Vance into the Knoxville zone. Kurapov had it. He just sends it around the near side. Nice play by Youngworth to keep it alive. Played on the far boards. Kurapov has it. Gets past Frolov into center ice. Loose there as it's knocked away by Gagnon, and is back into the Birmingham zone, played by Youngworth. Off the stick of Gronick, back to Youngworth. He'll give it up far side. Gagnon brings it in. Sets it up for Kennedy. Near corner, takes the shot, gets past everyone and out into center ice where Jamie Dorsey has it for Birmingham. Have not called his name a lot tonight, Greg.
Well, Dorsey's one, Jody, that he's just a staple Larry Robinson stay-at-home D.
Oh, I don't know about Larry Robinson. We'll get back to that in a minute as Kip Lezianko fires one deep. Stopped by Mundinger, and he'll leave it for Cam Toby. That's a little bit too much of being a homer there, Greg. Stewart plays it behind. He'll leave it for Dorsey. Long head-manning pass just under the stick of Phil Lezianko. He said he couldn't touch it. We'll have an icing and back into the Birmingham zone. Larry Robinson?
Well, what I meant by that, Jody,
please explain.
As far as Dorsey goes, you know what? He's a guy out there. He's not going to jump in, on the offense very often. He's not a guy that you're going to see like Gagnon going from our end zone all the way up across the blue line.
Off the draw, Lilliquist has it. The big 6'9 defenseman sends one in front. Olsen deflected it, but it went behind the net. Played by Gatti. There's a wraparound, gets through the blue paint in the crease and all the way around the side. Lilliquist has it, he'll keep it alive. Caffarelli in front. Olsen, a shot deflected by Dorsey high. Curled around, Gatti with a shot! And Gaeta takes the shot right on the spot. Stewart gobbles it up as he usually does. Face off to his left.
And that's one of those things there, Jody, that we saw Thursday night as well. You've got to get somebody on those guys when they cycle high across the top of the circles. You got to put a little pressure on because you saw it there. Hayden Stewart followed him and tracked him, made a great save. They kept the traffic away from in front, but you don't want to make it so easy on him.
Off the draw, Birmingham controls. Doug Scott sends it into center ice. 4 Knoxville players back. They'll come away with it. Skating into the Bull zone. Tosto across the ice pass. Dowler was cruising in front, but it was deflected away by Doug Scott. Now behind the Birmingham net, puck is played. Sent around near side, Branshaw has it. Again, the referees are in the way tonight. That one hindered Knoxville from having at least a shot with the puck in the corner. Now his puck is center ice, picked up by Colton Olenek. Puts the brakes on. There's a pass. Doug Scott's shot is deflected by Caffarelli out of play. And Greg, that's the third time tonight the referees have come in the way. That time, Knoxville could have at least had a scoring chance with a centering pass.
Well, definitely. You think with only 3 of them out there, Joey, that there'd be a little bit more room for him to get out of the way. But yeah, definitely. I like that look from Olenek though, there, Jody. Came across, he delayed, he hit the high guy in wood, he came in, he had a good shot, but just got to stick in the shooting lane and put that one up in the netting.
Soreski, Karan, and Gronick out. So Karan playing up front on this defensively. Youngworth is out with Gagnon. Puck is loose in the far corner. Soreski comes out with the puck. Near side, backhands the pass out to Youngworth. He takes the puck off the corner now. It's played by Gronick. Behind the Knoxville net, Gronick sends it around far side. He was trying to connect. There's a shot taken by Gagnon, who gives a little shove and a push there, a little left tap, if you will, to Karapov, but holding on to the puck was Mundinger. He'll grab it and we'll have it face off to his right.
And even on that shot, Jody, a shot from the far wall by Gagnon there, and Mundinger, on his post held it, but didn't look solid on it.
Puck loose in the corner. Kicked around the far boards, but not out. Birmingham keeps it alive. Youngworth pressured by Tyler Williams, who will slide around the boards. Along the far boards, chipped out by Kurapov to center ice. Birmingham will have to retreat. Youngworth quickly gets it ahead for Karan. Loose along the boards. Knoxville comes out with the puck as Troy Button will skate behind his own net. Play it near side for Cup. Garrett Cup lifts one far side. Phil Ledzianko steps in the way of that pass, and his brother Kip has the puck at the center ice stripe. He'll bring it in. Gets past Button. Cuts around the net. Wrap around is there. Save made by Mundinger, and he'll hold on. A nice idea by Kip Ledzianko, but it didn't go in. Mundinger stopped it. Now Jimmy Soper and Gagnon a little pushing and shoving to the right of Mundinger. They'll come away with nothing there, but maybe Soper didn't like the way they crashed the net on that, which is exactly what you want them to do.
Exactly. You want to create as much friction as you can down there in front of the goalie, Jody, and that was a really good wraparound there by Ledzianko, and that was Mundinger getting his big leg across there. That was a good save.
Face off in the Knoxville zone. Phil Ledzianko loses it. Knoxville wraps one around the boards and out. 2-on-1 the other way. Noah Finstrom. Finstrom takes the shot. That one goes wide. Had a player cruising in front in Gaeta, but he couldn't connect.
Offside.
Down offside is Eric Olson actually was in offside himself as the pass went to him. That 2-on-1 had maybe for Knoxville it just developed too quickly because they seem to just not be able to even get the shot on goal off.
Well, good job by the defense taking away that pass, Jody. And
as we're back to action, Cam Toby tips it. It's at the Bulls blue line. Kip Ledzianko tried to fire it down. He couldn't, and it's played back into the Bulls zone. Sadowski along the near boards. Olsen on him. Puck squirts free, and it's played there by Finstrom. Slides one in front, steered aside by Stewart. Loose puck along the far boards. Kip Ledzianko gets it out. Kennedy couldn't maintain possession, though. And it's played back into the Bulls zone by Finstrom. 14:55 to go, second period. Bulls up 2-1 as Sinclair slides one across for Kip Ledzianko. Back for Sinclair. Olenek couldn't control it, tried to center it in front. There's Sinclair fanned on the shot, and Knoxville will clear. Skating away with it. They'll dump it into the near corner. Scahill loses it to Kuzmich. Scott comes in to rip the puck around the boards, but not out. Now it's shipped to center ice. Matt Wood had it for Birmingham. Dowler puts it back in, and Stewart will play it himself. Off the stick of McGregor Sinclair. Look out, Knoxville has the turnover. Branshaw has it. Takes the shot, goes wide. A giveaway resulted in a great scoring chance for Knoxville. Played along the near boards, Lilliquist. Down low. Curling out is Kuzmich. He had a player, Bradshaw, cruising in front, but couldn't get in the puck. And it comes back into the Knoxville zone quickly. Played by Dowler. Matt Wood on him. Brendan Dowler along the near boards, playing with the bubble as well as Birmingham's Parker Sareski gets it to the Bulls' blue line, and Bradshaw tips it in. Playing it there, Gagnon to center ice. Knoxville knocks it right back in. Soper looks behind him to see if he has any help, and he doesn't. So he'll try and tie it up and wait for reinforcements. Puck played along the far boards. Groning has it. Puts one to Scott in harm's way, if you ask me, right in the slot, but Gagnon backhands one out. Greg, why do they do that?
I'm not a fan of that defensive
not
play
at
at all.
Soreski puts one back into the Knoxville zone deep. Played by Button. Soreski on him. Now it's loose in the near corner. Tyler Williams, a long pass through center ice, connecting with Kurapov. Played behind the goal line. Kurapov sends it near side. Taken away by Frolov. Vadim Frolov now. Gets past Williams. Loses possession, is knocked away from him, and that quickly, here comes Knoxville, right back into the Bulls' blue line. Kurapov backhands one off the near boards to Soper. Tyler Williams in front, Van Zel shot. What a save by Hayden Stewart. An excellent setup. Stewart was the answer. Soper into the corner. Back at the point, tried to set up for Vance, taken away by Phil Edzianko. Has his brother in front. Into the near corner, Kip has it. Tried to back a pass off the boards, nobody there but Knoxville players. And Caffarelli had it, coughed it up. Kip Edzianko brings it in, takes the shot. He tried to use the screen of Knoxville's Cam Tobey, but Mundinger saw it and gloved it. I don't think that would have been on goal anyway, but nonetheless, he gloved it and squeezed it.
Oh. Good job there by Ledzianko. He got across. He had an opportunity, Jody. The D was in position. He saw the screen, and he shot it. It was just unfortunate. The only spot he had to shoot was high glove on Mundinger, and he's going to make that save more times than not.
As we take the second media timeout of the second period, Bulls up 2-1. Greg, this is the time we got to lead, just like we had before, late in the second period, or during the second. This is the time when things started to get a little squirrely, if you will, and the game kind of took a turn on the other team's favor. The first 4 times we've had games this season. Can we keep that from happening tonight with a 1-goal lead, 12 to go in the second?
Well, I think so. You just have to keep things simple, Jody. And, you know, the only time the Bulls got in trouble in the last, 7 minutes and, 37 seconds was those times where they have the puck in the corner and they don't have an outlet, so they pass it to the guy in the slot.
Stop that.
In your zone, but to me, it's not like the guy's looking for it. He's kind of caught off guard a little bit, and in a 2-1 game, throw it off the glass and out.
I take an icing every time before I do that.
100%.
Edzianko goes down legs overhead, basically, and Olsen will bring it back into the Bulls zone, into the near corner. Gaeta takes a hit from Dorsey. Now the puck is loose, comes back. Look out, Phil Edzianko with Cam Tobey back. Phil Edzianko couldn't get past Tobey. The loose puck squirts in right on Mundinger. Now behind the play, Dorsey goes down. Kip Edzianko comes in to his aid. Oh, that was not Dorsey. Well, maybe it was, yes. Now his brother Phil, through no intention, ran into the goal crease and maybe got a piece of Mundinger. Now Dorsey having a little chat with Eric Olsen. Dorsey had Kip Edzianko of all people take up for him.
I'll tell you, Jody, if Olsen wasn't going to the box, Dorsey wouldn't have let him get out of that corner. I guarantee you that. But talk about a move by Ledzianko. He chipped it around the defender, came around. He tried to get his own chip pass back. That's what sent him into Mundinger.
So Birmingham's going to go back on the power play. Eric Olsen, 2 minutes for roughing, and I'll be honest with you, I kind of thought maybe a pair would go. I mean, Kip Edzianko as well, but we'll take the power play, don't get me wrong.
100%.
But I'm kind of surprised that only one player found their way into the penalty box.
Well, to finish out that comment on Ledzianko, Jody, just what a play by him to try and get around there. Tried to one-hand his own pass back, find himself in the paint, and that puck still just kept rolling towards the open net, and Mundinger got his stick back on, laid it down Eddie Belfour style, and made that save.
Olsen came in to deliver the first hit after the stoppage, and I believe that's what he got the roughing call for. And now that I saw the replay, good call. Puck back into the Bull zone as we start our second power play of the night. Look out! Birmingham's Doug Scott goes down on the play, and the stick actually steered the puck right in on Stewart. At least Stewart was ready for it, and he just calmly chipped it up. Now Soreski had it bounce off his skate. McGregor Sinclair put it in. Birmingham 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. Knoxville easily clears. Stewart well out of his net will play it for Scott, who is calling for the puck. Curls away from Soper. Backhands one over for Kennedy for Soreski, and Birmingham now through center ice. Soreski coughs it up. Jerry Cup has it in, has Williams streaking. Williams score. Turnover for the Birmingham Bulls, and you could see it coming, Greg. Short-handed goal for the Knoxville Ice Bears. Unbelievable.
Well, you got to give credit where credit's due, Jody. Williams and Soper did a great job on the forecheck there. They didn't give the Bulls any time to break out at all, and they forced that turnover. Soreski just couldn't handle it. Tried a little backhand sauce in the neutral zone. You know how that always ends up in the back of your net.
Oh, boy. Still have a minute 12 of power play time remaining. 11:01 to go in the second, but we're tied at 2. We'll get the call in a moment. But that was the dagger right there.
The assist, number 7, Jarrett Cup. Goal scored at 8:59 of the second period. Number 3, Tyler Williams.
So Williams picks up the goal from Cup. Short-handed. Birmingham Sadowski has it. Birmingham still on the power play. Ledzianko far side. Sets it up for his brother Phil. Olick in the slot takes a shot. That was whistled wide. Puck comes all the way back out to the blue line. To Ledzianko through the face-off circle to his brother Kip. What a save by Mundinger. Unbelievable. Kip Ledzianko had the entire side of the net wide open. Ripped a great shot off. But out of the blue and out of nowhere, that big left mid of Mundinger finds the puck and he holds it.
And for Ledzianko,
wow.
Jody, if he could have got that shot off half a second quicker, it would have been in, but he just rockered it back and gave Mundinger that half a second to get across there. What a huge save by Mundinger. His best of the game yet.
After the shot, Kip Ledzianko could do nothing but just double over and just look at the ice and shake his head. That was Tyler Williams' third goal of the year. He's Knoxville's leading scorer, but that was just a gift. That short-handed goal for Knoxville. They should get the thank you card for that one. Sadowski off the draw has it. We're down to 25 seconds of power play time remaining. Cross-ice pass, Phil Ledzianko. Plays it down low. Wood with a shot save. Rebound loose in the crease, and Knoxville will clear it the length of the ice. Birmingham Stewart played the puck himself. Off the boards, Gagnon takes a hit. We're down to 5 seconds. Ledzianko comes in, and his brother was robbed once again by the glove of Mundinger. Had the puck all along, bottom of that far face-off circle, Greg. Another great shot. But that glove hand of Stephen Mundinger has saved 2 Knoxville goals, or 2 Birmingham goals.
Absolutely, and hey, Jody, the Bulls are responding here. Even after giving one up there on the power play, they're right back there. Mundinger's bailed them out twice on that last shift, and we got 1 second left here in the penalty. So, be careful wherever this puck is dropped. You want to keep your mind that you got a guy coming right out of the box here.
I mean, the guy looked like Patrick Quan on the last 2 saves.
Oh, yeah. He's got a good glove, Jody.
Well, he's got a good glove for the last 2 shots. I don't know about overall, Greg.
Well, I'm telling you, it's his strong suit. You want to keep him. I like that on the power play, getting it down low on the goal line there, and then the Bulls threw it out, and with all that commotion in there, as soon as Mundinger drops down to his knees, now's your chance to push it. Chip it to the far side of the net.
Well, they tried to get one there. They had the open net, and both brothers, Kip and Phil Ledzianko, had a wide open look at the net, and somehow, some way, Mundinger's left mitt, that glove hand, he made the stop. Nothing you can do. We're tied 2-2. 9:50 to go here in the second period of play. Soreski on the draw for Birmingham. Caffarelli for Knoxville.
This game could easily be 4-4, Joey, because Hayden Stewart in the Bulls' end is doing the same thing.
Off the draw, that will kill the penalty. There's a shot deflected in front. Gronick was cruising. The Bulls had another opportunity. Now it's pushing and shoving. After the whistle blows, that shot came from the point from Gagnon. It was a good one, low and deflected, but once again, Mundinger makes the save. Here has prevailed here, but things are starting to get a little chippy here, Greg Reveney.
It's turned into a hockey game. I like it.
Soreski, Gronick, Youngworth, Gagnon, Talon, and Gagnon.
Maybe old school hockey game is a better way to put it.
Off the draw, Eric Olsen loses it, picked up by Gronick. No one really clearly won. There's a wraparound attempt by Soreski. Olsen made sure that didn't happen, and back comes Knoxville the other way. Jerry Cupp chips it into the near corner. Now puck is played, but not out. Eric Olsen sends one in off the leg of Gagnon. Nobody was there for Knoxville, or they would have been all alone. Played by Youngworth now. Banks went off the boards to center ice to Karan. Soreski tries to catch up with it in a corner. Button ties him up, knocks him down to the ice. Loose underneath, picked up the other way. Here comes Knoxville. Caffarelli with the puck. No one with him, so he tried to lift it in and couldn't. Here comes Gronick, takes a nice pass, drops it far side. Ladzianko tried a toe drag, snapshot, didn't work. Gaeta was right there and he tipped it away. Puck comes back into the Knoxville zone, no icing, they say it was touched. A centering opportunity for Kennedy, intercepted by Gaeta. Loose at center ice, now Kennedy has it, he lost it, Tosto pick it up, and here comes Knoxville. Gaeta with the puck. Floats one in front for Kuzmich. Stewart steers it into the corner. Carson, that's Cam Toby in front looking for Branshaw, who's cruising off the mark. Branshaw back to Toby, a shot saved made by Stewart. Rebound picked up. Far side by Vance. Back at the point, Toby. Carson Vance has it. He'll return it to Cam Toby in front. Score on the deflection. That was a picture perfect, I won't call it lucky play, but Branshaw got his stick right where it needed to be and tipped it, deflected into the top corner. Absolutely nothing that Hayden Stewart could do about that.
Well, good deflection in front of the net, Jody. The breakdown of the Bulls defense there came from the amount of time that the shooter had on the blue line. Man-on-man, 3-on-3 down low, two wingers up high.
Branshaw with a goal, his second of the season. We'll get the assist in a moment. What I was afraid of has happened there. A 2-1 lead turned into a 3-2 deficit. All in the second period. Puck behind the Knoxville net. Picked up by Kuzmich. Here's the call.
Jason Branshaw, the assist, number 10, Cam Toby, and number 20, Carson Vance.
Toby and Vance on the assist. 11:57 time of the goal. Second of the year for Branshaw as the faceoff will come back in the Knoxville zone. With 7:42 remaining in the second. You got to wonder what's going through the heads of the Birmingham Bulls down there. Are they thinking, we're doing this again?
I don't think so. I think you just got to go back to work. You got 7.5 minutes here left in the second. You just got to go. You got to tie it up.
Dorsey off the draw. Soon went around the boys, trying to catch up as McGregor Sinclair. He does. He'll put it right back from where it came. Cam Toby catches up with it first. Dorsey keeps it alive. Puck is tipped behind the net where Carson Vance has it. Lost it. That one chipped away, though, by Cam Toby, but not out. Finally, they'll backhand it back into the Bulls zone. Kevin Sadowski has it. Off the boards, tried to hit it up for Olenek, didn't work, but it does deflect right in on Mundinger, who puts the mid on top of it. So with 7:09 to go here in the second, face-off will come to his left.
You saw Gronick there, Jody. He was coming across up into the neutral zone. He was looking to go far and away there, hoping he could get it. It was just deflected up at the last second, but he might have been gone.
Out on the ice for Birmingham, Soretsky, Frolov, and Gronick up front. Gagnon and Youngworth defensively. On the draw for Knoxville, Tyler Williams, goal scorer tonight. Their leading goal scorer of the season thus far. Off the draw. Birmingham has it behind the net. Gronick hit by Soper. Puck loose underneath of both players. Still been trying to be kick free. Gronick does, but picked up by Brendan Dowler. Dowler loses it. Soretsky has it, takes a shot. That one deflected high and wide, loose along the near boards. Lost, picked up by Soretsky, a shot. That one, little traffic in front. Soper blocked or screened his own goaltender, but still Mundinger comes up with the stop.
Well, and you can see the composition of that line, Jody. You got Frolov and Gronick, they're down there doing the work in the corner. Soretsky, he's just sitting up high, and that's exactly how that's supposed to work. Two guys go in there in dirty areas, they turn over the puck, they come up with it, they get it to him, he gets a good shot in on net.
Face off, controlled by no one, loose, picked up by Knoxville. They'll try and chip it out and do to center ice where Youngworth has it for Birmingham. Delayed offside, canceled as Birmingham retreats, played far side by Troy Button. Loose now at center ice. Kip Ledzianko overskated it, he'll send it far boards, open wing, shot taken by Phil Ledzianko, save made by Mundinger. Puck bounces all the way back into the Bull zone, played back by Birmingham. Phil Ledzianko has it, couldn't get it to the far corner. Button knocks the pass down. Now Wood steps in front of Olsen, picks the loose puck up. Wood takes the shot, and once again, you heard the thud, that's a glove save again by Stephen Mundinger.
Hey, good job by the Bulls, and that's what it takes to get scoring opportunities, Jody. Being tough on that forecheck as they're coming out, just trying to get the puck out beyond the blue line. Wood did a good job there, knocking that one down the neutral zone, or in the center of the defensive zone, I guess is a better way to put it. And he came in, got a good shot off there. Mundinger once again with that big glove, throwing it out there, pulling it down.
McGregor Sinclair on the draw for Birmingham. Still waiting on the drop of the puck. Noah Finstrom for Knoxville, still loose underneath their skates. Comes free, Knoxville will pick it up. Kuzmich just backhands one out. Connor Scahill gets it up for Colton Olenek. Long cross-ice pass, tries to set it up for Sinclair, but there were four people there. Knocked it away. Matt Wood has it. Back at the point, he'll play it. There's a shot taken loose in the slot. Save made. That one goes wide on the rebound by Wood, who still has it. Wood drops it back for Scahill. He takes a shot looking for a deflection. Goes wide of everyone, and Knoxville skate away. Near side, that's Branshaw in the Bull zone. Floats one into the far corner. Pass for Vance off the mark. Birmingham has the puck, and Connor Scahill skates it through center ice. He'll come off for a change as he knocks it into the far corner. Brendan Dowler tries to get out and does. Tyler Williams with the puck. Three Bulls back defensively, so he'll just put it in deep. Line change for Knoxville. We're down to 4:55 to go, second period. Knoxville has overtaken the Birmingham Bulls, and that 2-1 lead we had is now 3-2 Knoxville. There's a backhand through center ice. Gagnon had a shot at, or excuse me, as Karan had a shot at it and taken away from him. Now it's loose in front of both benches and played by Soper into the Bull zone. Soretsky backhands one off the glass for Gronick, who knocked it down, loses it. Now it's loose, picked up by Dorsey, ahead to Karan. Philippe Karan gets past Dowler. Soretsky will pick the loose puck up. Tries to hold on to it. Little did he know the 6'9" defenseman, Lillquist, was right there, and the puck escapes the zone. Youngworth ahead for Phil Ledzianko, tips it in for his brother Kip, puts the brakes on in the near corner. Pass across the crease, gets past everyone. Gagnon keeps it alive for Birmingham. One-timer set up for Kip Ledzianko, deflected. as well as a little bit of a fan, and back comes Knoxville the other way. That's close to an offside. They didn't call it. Played in the far corner. Soper taken away by Phil Edzianko. 2 defensemen back for Knoxville. The end of their shift, Kip. Edzianko just didn't have enough juice to get there, and Tyler Williams will bring it back in through the legs of Youngworth. But Gagnon takes it up, and he'll send it up far side.
Good job by Youngworth on that one-on-one.
Coming up. Phil Edzianko took a stick to the face, and he immediately comes to the bench. No doubt that one got up on him quickly. I don't know how badly he's cut, but he made his way back to the bench immediately. That's probably going to wind up being a double minor on Knoxville if blood was drawn. Off to the bench. Off to the penalty box, that is, for Knoxville, appears to be Troy Button.
Yep.
Phil Edzianko back on the bench, being attended to. Only 2 minutes are showing on the board, so maybe no blood was drawn. Maybe a little more theatrical than needed.
Well, one of those things where intentional, I wouldn't go that far. You know, Button's not known for getting his stick up or whatever.
He did get his stick up.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
And you are responsible for your stick at all times. So now Birmingham back on the power play with 3:26 to go here in the second. Much needed goal would be really nice here. But remember, last time we were on the power play, coughed it up at center ice. Giveaway resulted in a shorthanded goal for Knoxville. So we don't need a repeat of that.
One of those things, Jody, is it still like that old school where if Edzianko was cut, would they just stitch him up on the bench? I stick.
We'll see if Phil Edzianko gets back on the ice anytime soon. Looks like he's still on the bench. I see him now over the board. But anyway, we're on the power play. Face off in the Knoxville zone. To the left of Stephen Mundinger. McGregor Sinclair on the draw for Birmingham. Soper for Knoxville. Puck is loose. Goes into the corner. Frolov goes down. They'll try and hammer it out, but Scott does a good job to keep it in for Birmingham. Sereski, top of the face-off, circle a shot. That one looking for a deflection, gets past everyone. Frolov was there. Now, down deep, back at the point now, it's played for Scott to Sereski. Back to Doug Scott. Sends one in front. I don't know if Sinclair got a piece of it or not, Greg, but Mundinger did, and he holds it.
Well, I like that, Jody, where they work it up top, and then the guys that go out to the perimeter, they collapse back down in front of the net, and they got to get in front of Mundinger just like Sinclair did there. Try and get a piece of that puck, redirect it, because straight on, Mundinger, it's hard to score on him. You got to get him moving around.
Off the draw in the Knoxville zone. Olsen for Knoxville. Looks like he's going to be tossed, and Ryan Kuzmich will come in his place. Kennedy wins the draw for Birmingham. Back at the point for Doug Scott. To Sereski, back to Scott. Thought about a shot. Gives it up for Parker Sereski. Sereski takes the shot. Save made off the blocker. Rebound right to Knoxville, and they'll clear down the length of the ice. A minute 15 to go here in the power play for Birmingham. Forechecking by Ryan Kuzmich forces Doug Scott to skate away. He brings it into the Knoxville zone. Puck gets free of everyone, and Knoxville clears back the length of the ice. All that because of the forechecking in Knoxville. Parker Sereski, we're down to under a minute to go in this power play opportunity for Birmingham, the third of the night. 2:15 to go here in the second. Sereski slowly through center ice, sends it into the near corner. Olenek, that is, giving chase along with Matt Wood. Tied up behind Mundinger, squirts free to Phil Edzianko. Back at the point for Zadovsky, has Kip near side. He'll opt to give it to Phil Edzianko. Now Kip has it. Cross-ice pass, Phil Edzianko, a shot blocked, and into the midsection of Mundinger, and he'll hold on. Greg, the shots are there, the opportunities are there, the angles are there, and the open net's there, but Mundinger seems to be there in his place when needed as well.
Well, he's a big body, Jody. And a lot of the Bulls' success that they had early came from getting that puck down low, in tight to the net, slamming it low on the ice, and then just turning it into an all-out scramble. All
right, I'm getting a little frustrated now, in case you haven't been able to tell. Off the draw with 20 seconds of power play time remaining. Sadowski has the puck just behind the blue line. Near side Kip. Off the stick of Sadowski, and Birmingham will have to clear the zone. Back to Kip Ledzianko, 5 seconds to go. He's hit on the play, knocked down, lost his stick. Knoxville clears the zone. They're back and forth, even strength. There's a shot, goes off the glass for Knoxville behind the net of Hayden Stewart. Tosto lost his stick, kicked it along the near boards, but not out. Birmingham's Gronick takes it away, gives it up to Sinclair. 3 Knoxville players back defensively, so he'll just dump it in. Lilliquist there. Loses it to Sinclair. Centering pass really off the back of the net. Under a minute to go now in the second period as the puck is loose behind the net of Knoxville. Tosto around the near side for Gaeta. Sinclair going in trying to knock it free. Is tied up. Puck comes back behind the net. Lilliquist has it for Knoxville. And he'll give it up. And back comes the Ice Bears the other way. Tosto sends one into the far corner. 30 seconds left here in the second period. Gagnon lost it. Tried to deflect the pass to someone, and it didn't work. Knoxville keeps it alive. Finally, comes free for Birmingham's Kennedy, who just lifts one high. Far side for Olenek. He can't get past Button, who takes the puck away. We're down to 12 seconds to go. Knoxville with the puck. Tried to get it out. Phil Ledzianko, a good job to keep it alive. Birmingham couldn't control it, though, as it's taken by Knoxville. And that'll do it for the second period of play. Chance after chance after chance after chance for the Birmingham Bulls, especially off the sticks of Phil and Kip Ledzianko, Greg. And what winds up happening is one of my fears, the 2-1 lead. You start thinking about it and knowing what happened the previous 4 games. And here at the end of 40 minutes of play, you look at the scoreboard, and the exact same thing happened tonight that it has previously. Knoxville takes a 3-2 lead into the locker room.
Bad, Jody, but you just got to keep going because it's one of those things where it feels a lot different. I know it's a 3-2 game for Knoxville, but the Bulls, they're controlling the game. They have the offensive chances. It's there. To me, I'm a lot more worried if you're not getting those offensive chances and Knoxville's in your end the whole time and it's a Hayden Stewart show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
at least they're okay.
We saw the reactions after those unbelievable glove saves from Munding on both Phil and Kip Ledzianko. But I also saw despair, frustration, anguish, whatever you want to call it, on both of those kids' faces after the save was made. I just wonder what that does to you mentally as you start thinking about it. And I had an open net and this guy still made the save. What do I got to do? You start second-guessing yourself, do you not?
Well, Jody, it's the same thing that I told Austin Lotz back in the day. You know what? You can't worry about what happened on your previous shift. You have to just clear the mechanism, go out there, and don't worry about what happened last time. Look at what are you going to do different next time. And that's the key to all this. It doesn't matter. If you're supposed to score every time you shot the puck, then the score would be 19-18.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
You just got to keep going because the Ledziankos, they're going to get, 6-7 shots a piece a night on net. And, you're going to score maybe one of those. You see what I mean? So you can't get lost in, man, that was so close, that was this, that was that. You just got to keep sawing wood, and bam, you're going to be there.
Well, either way, you got 20 minutes left to right this ship. And hopefully things maybe will start bouncing your way instead of the wrong way. We haven't hit a post tonight, which is good news. We put 2 in the net. We need a couple more. You and I were talking before the game of, as a goaltender, if you can hold the other teams to 2 or even 3 goals, you should win the hockey game.
Right?
And at this point, it just hasn't gone in Birmingham's favor. We're snake-bitten offensively, and I don't know of any other way to put it. The effort's there, the chances are there, the opportunities are there. The pucks are just not crossing that goal line. Okay, that's the end of 2 periods of play. We'll take a break. Score At the end of 2, Knoxville 3, Birmingham 2. Jody Chinesky along with Greg Drevany, and this is Birmingham Bulls hockey. So Jody Chernesky along with Greg Dreveny is getting set for third period action in a couple of minutes. With the score, Knoxville 3, Birmingham 2 after 40 minutes. Greg, what's going on around the league tonight?
So around the league, Jody, we've got a final. Fayetteville knocks off Roanoke 2-1.
Was that in overtime or regulation?
Regulation. Evansville up 3-0 over Peoria with 16 minutes to go in the third. Pensacola and Macon, they're knotted at 1, waiting to start the third period there in Pensacola. And Huntsville and Quad City, they're tied at 1 as well going into the third period.
That's odd. Roanoke, just an old nemesis, always had a big, strong hockey team.
Yep.
They're now 1-4 on the season. Birmingham and Roanoke both in the finals a couple of years ago, and now we find ourselves in 9th and 10th place in the league.
Well, and it's looking, where's Peoria sitting right now?
The Rivermen are third in the league coming into tonight's action, but unbelievably, 4 games they've given up 5 goals only.
Well, and in that, so they're in 4th with how many points?
Right now, Peoria has a 3-1 record, so he has 6 points, 5 goals against. Those impressive to me, Ray. That's unbelievable.
Absolutely. But even at 6 points, Jody, with Peoria and Roanoke, 2 teams that you're trying to keep up with, definitely looking at it, it's like for the Bulls, you got to have 2 points tonight to get out of there because you got a point each for each of your overtime losses that were lost in shootout. So that pushes you up 4 points, pushes you into the middle of the pack.
Well, we're here at the Hockey and Pelham Civic Complex along with 3,500, 4,000 other people. We're missing Game 7 of the World Series. You and I took a look at that, at least a box score in between periods, and I got a surprise. Did you?
Oh, yeah. So in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Toronto Blue Jays, and keep in mind, folks, this is Game 7 of the World Series. Is tied 3-3, and the Jays are up 3-1 over the LA Dodgers.
And that's with Ohtani on the mound too for LA, and their near $500 million payroll. I promise you, Toronto's is not anywhere near that. Everybody that's sick and tired of hearing about money in sports and buying championships from college football all the way up are pulling for the Blue Jays like nobody's business.
Well, it's one of those things, Joe, where the only ones cleaning up in Toronto is the hotel that overlooks the center field, and $11,500 for a room tonight. I hope they're enjoying their deal of this game. One room,
one night, $11,500.
How many people?
That's Canadian dollars, by the way. So what is it in America?
About seven. No, not even. Probably 6,500.
No, in American, if it's $11,500 in Canadian, it's going to be 13 or more in American dollars.
No way.
American dollars are worth more than Canadian dollars.
That's what I'm saying. So it's half.
Either way, I'm all mixed up. We got a hockey game to call. The last 20 minutes are underway. Puck on the far boards. Picked up by Knoxville. They'll bring it in, and out on the play, no call. Probably should have been. Knoxville player hauled down on the play. It's loose puck picked up and sent to the far boards and out down the length of the ice.
No icing.
Ranshaw has it for Knoxville. He'll turn long headbanding pass. Tipped in by Cup. Stewart out of his net, plays it behind his net. He'll set it up far side. Birmingham's Phil Ledzianko sets it up for his brother, who's tied up by Carson Vance. Thus Knoxville takes the puck away. Ryan Kuzmich brings it into the Bull zone. He'll drop it for Tyler Williams. Phil Ledzianko, nice play, checks him out of the play. The loose puck picked up by Carson Vance. Near side, Toby blocker save made by Hayden Stewart, and Birmingham clears it back into the Knoxville end of the ice.
Great job by Ledzianko there on Williams, Jody. Every time that guy touches the puck, you have to take him out of the play.
Puck played in the Bull zone. Stewart plays it himself around the near side for Froloff. Puck is loose at center ice. Lilliquist has it. Gronick on him. The big guy just muscles it into the Bull zone where it's taken there by Gagnon. Jordan Gagnon gets past Soper. Brings it in close to offside. No call. Kurapov backhands one for Soper, and the Bulls have to play it in their own zone. Loose at center ice. Sadowski will have to hurry back and get it. They'll call icing on the play. As Gaieta was cruising in.
Well,
Sadowski really slow on that one, but I guess he anticipated an icing would be called.
well, like I said, there's your quiet Larry Robinson. Dorsey cutting back in the cross, Jody, because if he doesn't hustle back,
No, you're right.
Sadowski gets beat on that by Gaieta, and there's no icing there.
Face off to the left of Mundinger. Next goal is beyond crucial in this hockey game. Off the draw, controlled by Brendan Dowler of Knoxville. He'll skate near boards. Gets it to Kurapov, who sets it up far side. Soper will retreat back in his zone. Drops it for Lilliquist. Caffarelli calling for the puck. He didn't see him, so Brendan Dowler takes it, and he'll try and dump it in deep and does. Sadowski banks one around the far side. Caffarelli is there, keeps it alive. Back at the point, Lilliquist. Slap shot, save made by Stewart. And he'll hold on. I expected it to be a lot more of a powerful shot than that was from Lilliquist, but nonetheless, you can't tell me it wasn't a tough one. Stewart had to hit his glove, pop up, and right back in his glove. So, nice save by Hayden Stewart.
Oh, one of those things, Jody, those pros and cons we talked about, right? Watch him in warm-up. He doesn't have a rocket shot. He doesn't have the pro shot that you would think a guy that size does, but he does have the reach, and he's a good defender.
Off the draw, Birmingham banks one back deep into the zone and back to touch up Button, so icing is called. They'll bring it right back. We'll do it again. 17:40 remaining here in the third. Knoxville 3, Birmingham 2. Out on the ice, Colton Olenek with Matt Wood, Kevin Sadowski, McGregor Sinclair, and Jamie Dorsey. Face off to the right of Hayden Stewart, controlled by Eric Olson of Knoxville. Now Cup sends one around behind the net. Sadowski takes it away from Olson, gives it to Matt Wood. Now through center ice, Wood can't get it in deep. A nice defensive play by Caffarelli. Now Cup on the save made by Stewart. A nice wrister by Cup on a 3-on-2. Almost snuck it underneath that blocker, Greg, of Hayden Stewart, but he makes the save, and Birmingham clears the zone.
Well, that simple game, Jody, just coming across that blue line, that transition zone. You just want to get the puck deep. It's early in the third.
Dorsey takes it and fires one into the far corner. Takes a big hit there from Kuzmich and skates away. Kennedy for Birmingham puts it along the near half wall, but not deep enough as Ryan Kuzmich skates away with the puck. Draws it for Branshaw. Return for Kuzmich back to the point, trying to hook up for Toby. Kip Ledzianko takes it away and gives it to Kennedy, who fouls it in deep. Loose in the corner, picked up by the Bulls. Kip Ledzianko a shot, and that one goes into the netting out of play. Of sprawling, it looked like Tusto got in the way of that shot by Ledzianko. He was all alone for a second, but he just waited a little bit, split second too long to shoot it.
Well, but that's the simple game, Jody. The simple game you play with speed, and Ledzianko's got it deep. They got back there first because they're faster than the defense on Knoxville, and it turned into a scoring opportunity.
Phil Ledzianko wins the draw, gets it back to Doug Scott. Now far side, Scahill sends it in deep. Kip Ledzianko is there. He's hit on the play. Now a loose puck. Picked up by Knoxville in the corner, and here comes Branshaw the other way. Through center ice. Just taps one into the Bull zone deep. Doug Scott there first. He'll give it to Scahill. Ahead to center ice for Kip Ledzianko. Off the boards for his brother. He'll try and go a wraparound. He's hit on the play by Lilliquist and separated from the puck. Brendan Dowler ahead on the play, trying to hook it up for Kurapov. He got him, but a nice play by Birmingham's Karan keeps him tied up. Loose puck picked up by Tyler Williams. He'll curl around behind the Bulls net. Thought about a wraparound, still holding on to the puck. Gives it for Cup. There's a deflection in front. Comes onto the stick of Soretsky, and he had it easily taken away from him by Jared Cup. Gagnon puts one in, a bouncing puck right in on Mundinger, who blocks it, sends it aside. Now a whistle blows as Soretsky goes in the corner. Greg, he had it really just, it was almost as if Cup just said, please get out of my way, I want the puck.
Oh, stripped it.
I don't know if he was expecting someone to be there or not. You got to be a little stronger than that, no?
Well, one of those things, Jody, you got to know if the puck comes to me, where am I going with it? You got to be thinking that next step ahead of the game, anticipating where am I going to go. As soon as that's on the stick, that's just a chip because you're across the red line, send it deep.
Sinclair wins the draw, gets it back to Youngworth, takes the shot into the near corner, played behind the net by Wood, walks out in front, easy save made by Mundinger, and Cam Toby has the rebound, and he'll lift it back into the Bull zone. Look out, Gagnon lost his footing, and the puck comes free. Gaetti back to the point. There's a shot taken by Vance. It's deflected wide, and Birmingham will take the puck at center ice. Sinclair loses it, though. Back the other way, Gaeta. He lost it or had a 2-on-1 along there with Finstrom. Now it's loose along the far boards. Only couldn't get it out. Finds the puck again. He'll drop it back on his defense. Birmingham looks like they're a little discombobulated right now, to say the least. Matt Wood with the puck at center ice. He'll dump it in deep for a line change for the Bulls. Right now it seems like Birmingham has one line that's working, Greg, and that's it.
Well, they are, and it's tough because Knoxville has changed up their defensive game here, Jody. They're not playing the wide-open style.
There's a centering pass out in front for Kip Ledzianko. Behind him, there's a shot from the far side by Sadowski. Save made. Rebound. Kennedy has it. He'll skate to the near boards. Brendan Dowler on him. Kip Ledzianko had it for a moment. Tosto skates away with the puck, though, for Knoxville through center ice.
Yep,
dumps it right in on Stewart. He looked behind him. He wasn't sure that puck was bouncing in on him. He made the stop, but he wasn't sure. Now a backhand pass. Here we go. Soreski the other way. 2 men back. Soreski with a shot wide of the net. Rebound comes near side for Karan. 2 men on him, so he'll just backhand one in deep. Centering pass. Deflected away, and Knoxville's Tyler Williams has it. Kuzmich takes his pass and dumps it into the far corner. Look out, Connor Scahill lost it. He goes down on the play. Penalty coming up on Scahill. Puck loose, gets to Button at the blue line. He'll leave it for Soper. Far side. That one never made it through. His block on the defense. Soper. Extra man out for Knoxville on the delayed penalty. Jimmy Soper. Far side. There's a shot taken. Save made. Rebound loose. The Bulls pick it up. Another Knoxville player, that's Tyler Williams, is down, but Birmingham will go on the penalty kill for the first time of the night. Knoxville's first power play of the night. They'll come into this with the the sixth best power play in the league. They've scored 1 power play goal and 6 opportunities. Birmingham's penalty kill's been something that you need to work a little bit on. It has been that way for the last 2 years. We're 9th in the league in penalty kill, Greg. We've given up 3 power play goals in just 7 attempts. That's a 57.1% success ratio, or kill ratio.
Well, it's tough here because I guarantee you, especially with this media timeout, Jody, that's going to give Knoxville a chance to rest all their guns, and I guarantee you're going to see guys like Soper and Williams right out here, right off the hop, because those are guys who can shoot the puck.
Well, I would say we need to equalize their shorthanded goal with one of our own, but at this point, I just want to keep Knoxville off the board and keep it a 3-2 game. Out to kill the penalty for Birmingham, Colton Olenek, along with McGregor Sinclair, Cole Youngworth, and Jordan Gagnon. The power play for Knoxville. Taking the draw will be Kuropov. He's out with Cup. Gaeta. And the big defenseman, Lilliquist, takes a hammer from Gagnon. Wow, elbow forearm right to the back of the head. He's parked in front of the net. There's a shot taken near side. Blocked by the Bulls. Was kept in the zone. That's Jared Cup. Skates in far face-off circle. His shot goes wide. Kuropov has it.
Yep.
For Cup. Lilliquist, all 6'9", parked in front of Hayden Stewart. We're going to have another call here. This is going to be a slashing call as Hayden Stewart just shaking his head. Yep. Jordan Gagnon off the ice for slashing, and a 2-man advantage now for Knoxville for another minute and 37 seconds, Greg.
But you see, the power play, Jody, there's no perimeter work here. They took their biggest D, a 6'9" D, and put him and said, your job is to stand in front of Hayden Stewart and don't let him see the puck. And what's he do? The guy draws a penalty.
Yep. He took a forearm to the back of the head and didn't even seem to faze him, to be quite honest with you, Greg. He just turned around and looked who it was.
Like I said, pros and cons, right? There's another pro.
All right, 5-on-3 man advantage for Knoxville. Let's see what happens. 1:37 remaining in the first. Penalty to Connor Scahill, and Jordan Gagnon just off for his slash. Knoxville with the puck in the bull zone. Vance at the point for Branshaw. Plays it down low, far corner, back to Branshaw now. Vance thought about a one-timer, holds on, takes a shot, save made, rebound loose, comes right in on Stewart, and he holds on. Now Tyler Williams really upset with Carson Vance. Look at this. He is not happy with whatever Carson Vance did or did not do.
Well, he said, hey Vance, it's a 5-on-3. How about getting the puck to me or Soper? Because we're the goal scorers, you're not.
Face off to the right of Hayden Stewart. Sinclair on the draw for Birmingham. Along with Soper, whistle blows. They're a little premature moving along this side. I guess Dorsey and Williams. So we'll do it again. 1:13 remaining on the penalty to Scahill. 1:36 on the penalty to Jordan Gagnon. And I don't want to look into the future, but killing off this 5-on-3 has to be able to be an uplifting thing if you're the Birmingham Bulls.
Absolutely. Anything to swing that momentum back, Jody, and that's what we're looking to do. Dorsey did a good job down there on that last 5-on-3 where Vance chose to shoot it in on net, blocking out Sofer, keeping him away from that puck.
Let's see what Tyler Williams, went to both Vance and Jason Branshaw to explain to them what he wants them to do, or guess where he's going to be. But it all starts with the face-off, and if the Bulls can win that, they can at least delay it for a few seconds.
Well, he'd probably say to him, hey, you know I've got like 3 goals in the last 3 periods, right? Figure it out.
Tosto on the draw for Knoxville. I've been calling him Tosto for the last 2 years, but I was told today it was Tosto, and he just was quiet about correcting people. Birmingham gains control of the face-off and sends it down the ice. Nice win there by McGregor Sinclair.
Absolutely. That was a huge win for Sinclair.
Carson Vance back in his own zone. He'll skate away. Youngworth. He's out with Phil Edzianko and Doug Scott. Knoxville brings the puck in, and a nice play by Birmingham's Phil Edzianko to chip it right back out. He just poke-checked it away from him down the ice. Quickly, though, here comes Branshaw. He drops it back for Tosto. Doug Scott had it. Gives it up for Youngworth, who will send it to center ice. Knoxville quickly working. Vance drops it for Soper. Near side Branshaw, top of the faceoff. Soper block! In front by Youngworth and cleared by Colton Olenek, who if he had skated had a breakaway. Soper with the puck, drops it down low. We're down to another 20 seconds in the first penalty. Tyler Williams over to Carson Vance. Lays it down low. To Williams. Down low looking for a deflection from Tosto. Couldn't connect. Carson Vance with the puck. We're down to 10 seconds of power play time remaining on the 5-on-3 and the Bulls. Watch it go down the length of the ice. Vance will hurry and pick it up. That'll kill the first penalty as Connor Scahill back on the ice.
Yeah, huge.
We're down to 20 seconds of the power play time for a 5-on-4 for Knoxville. As they'll bring it into the Bull zone. Off the skate of Lilliquist, Birmingham will clear as McGregor Sinclair taps it down the ice. 5 seconds to go. Birmingham with a huge penalty kill, killing off a minute and a half of 5-on-3 hockey. Knoxville brings it into the zone, and offside is called. And if that doesn't lift you up and you're on the Birmingham Bulls bench at this point of the game, I'm not sure what will, Greg.
I'm telling you, you talk about that frustration works both ways, Jody. I think the Bulls worked theirs out in between the intermission of the second and third, but Williams down there, I'm telling you, he's down there barking out orders and everything like that. And
he was not happy.
Nope.
Good thing Birmingham killed these 2 penalties. I didn't think that would happen, Greg. I'll just be honest with you. And now the momentum has switched, and I hope it starts to manifest itself in the form of goals. As Birmingham sends one the length of the ice, that one's going to be icing. I don't really care. Face-off will come back into the Birmingham zone. The penalty killing unit was really stellar on both of those penalties.
Yep.
I don't recall Hayden Stewart having to make a big save during that 2-man advantage.
Well, your best guy starts off on, especially on that 5-on-3, is your face-off guy. And Sinclair had a big draw there, Jody.
Puck loose underneath of Phil Edzianko and Eric Olson. Picked up by Gaeta. He drops it back for Button in the bull zone. Caffarella to Cup. Sends a shot deflected wide. Loose puck, what are you doing?
Go.
Backhanded one across the crease and barely out of the zone. Now Phil Lezianko delivers a hit to Cup. Far side, Gaeta has it. Back to Cup. He hits a one-timer deflected into the corner. Cole Youngworth is there with Gaeta. Now Gagnon goes down. No call. Far side, Gaeta had it poked away from him by Youngworth, and Birmingham will clear. 4-on-2. Kennedy has it for Phil Lezianko. Kip picks it up. Couldn't find anywhere to go. Takes a big hit there by Caffarelli, and Carson Vance picks the loose puck up for Knoxville, and they'll skate away. We're under 10 minutes to go here in the third period. Birmingham trailing by 1. Kyron Gronick with the puck. Backhands the pass over for Soretsky. Dumps it right in on Mundinger, who sticks it to the near side. Loose puck there. Picked up by Kuzmich. He'll get it out. Birmingham will have to vacate the zone. It's sent right back in by Connor Scahill. Vance plays it near side looking for Kuzmich. Scott with a big hit there. Keeps the puck alive for the moment. And it comes free. Gronick will send it right back in. Birmingham changing lines. Carson Vance behind his own net. Sets it up for Cam Toby. Long pass ahead. Connects with Branshaw. Ahead for Soper. Now Doug Scott finds the loose puck. Gets it past Kennedy. Or Karan, that is. Picked up by the Bulls defense. Now hit from behind there by Dowler. No call on Kennedy as he hit him from behind. I think the referee's going to let him play hockey here. Soper drops it off. Here comes Kuropov the other way. Takes a shot. That one gets past Stewart but was wide. Sadowski has it for Birmingham. Gives it up. Off the boards, back down deep. Look out, Sinclair has it. Curls behind the net. McGregor Sinclair off the boards for Sadowski. Down in front, gets past everyone, comes to the near side. Dorsey has it. Behind the net for Matt Wood. Has Olnick in front, who fanned on the shot and that pass. And here comes Knoxville's Williams. He had it knocked away from him, but is picked up by Lilliquist. Separated from the puck is Lilliquist by Jamie Dorsey, who has the puck now ahead for Matt Wood. Takes a shot to the head by Gaeta. He'll come off the ice. And Cup sends it out to center ice. Now it's loose there. Kip Lezianko and his brother Phil had a couple of whacks at it. Still loose. Picked up by the Bulls Sadowski, and he'll put it in deep.
Great job by the Leziankos to pull that out. Good shot on net.
Shot by Kennedy. Just flicked it in on Mundinger. Made the save, but Birmingham was not there for the rebound or a deflection. They'll come back down. 7:15 to go here in the third period. We have our second to last media timeout, meaning our second of the period. Birmingham out-shooting Knoxville by a margin of 3 at 31-28, but still trailing this hockey game 3-2.
And you see that effort by the Leziankos in the neutral zone, Jody. And granted, they're probably two of our more talented, skilled guys, but you see them with their nose down on their stick, working, sticking, staying with it, being hard to play against, and they ended up coming up with the puck that transitioned over to getting it deep and a shot on goal.
I hope to goodness, Greg, that this game doesn't boil down to that shorthanded goal that was a plain, simple gift.
Well, it already is.
To the Knoxville Ice Bears. But right now, that's the difference.
It already is right now. That's right.
All right. Face-off coming up in the Knoxville zone. Out for the Ice Bears is Jared Cupp, along with Noah Finstrom, Troy Button, Eric Olson, and Davide Gaeta. That's a hard one for me to say. Birmingham, Phil Lezianko, Kennedy, Gagnon, Youngworth, and Kip Lezianko. Phil Lezianko on the draw for Birmingham, wins it, gets it back to Gagnon. He'll just whip it around the boards. Goes to the far side. Jared Cupp picks it up for Knoxville and clears it. Look out, Gagnon picks the loose puck up. Tipped back in by the Bulls. Kip Lezianko has it. Drops it back for his brother. Now returned to Kip. Through the slot. He tips it over on a nice hustling play to Youngworth. Kennedy now has it. Couldn't get past Olsen. Loose puck along the far boards, and it's cleared back into the Bull zone. Looks like Knoxville has turned the offensive juices off, and they're going to play get past us hockey in their own zone. Let's see how many they line up at the blue line. Soreski brings it in, far face-off circle, takes the shot, deflected by Cam Toby, the defenseman, out of play. Now behind the play, going down, is Tosto. I don't think anything's going to be called here, but
that'd be an interesting stat, Jody. Opportunities the player has to shoot and how many times they miss the net.
If we had the manpower, Greg, like I did in the 90s when I was running that department, we would have a lot of different things done, I promise you.
Just things to look at.
Just some interns that love hockey that want to be involved is all we need. I mean, I had broadcast interns and we had coaching interns for stats, but things are different in the year 2025 than they were in 1994.
That's true.
Kuzmich has it. He'll backhand one over to Branshaw, who sends it in deep. Doug Scott plays it. Kuzmich takes it away from him, holds on to the puck. Back at the blue line, Toby will send it around deep behind the net. It gets past everyone. Along the far side, Froloff is there. Hadn't had a lot of ice time since the first period. He'll send it back, and Froloff tips it back into the Knoxville zone where Mundinger steers it to the side. Under 6 minutes to go, third period. Knoxville still up 3-2. Now it's center ice. Gronick sends it in deep. He'll come off for a replacement. Carson Vance has it, tries to get it out. Doug Scott keeps it in for the moment, but Carson Vance has it, and here comes Knoxville the other way. Kuropov had it taken away by Sadowski, and he puts it right back in the Knoxville zone. Birmingham's going to send in some extra forecheckers, Greg. They're going to have to create scoring opportunities. Sadowski with a shot skated away by Carson Vance. If he doesn't get that, that's a deflected in on his own goal. Now Tyler Williams with the puck at center ice just chipped it into the near corner. Goes down trying to draw a penalty. It didn't work. Puck played far side. Soper rides Wood into the boards, and the puck escapes near side for Sadowski. Colton Olenek through center ice. Gets past Dowler for McGregor Sinclair, but taken away from him by Lilliquist. And sent the length of the ice where icing is called on the Ice Bears with 4:54 remaining here in the third period of play as we have our last media timeout of the period.
Well, Jody, to update everybody at home and in the arena, those that are listening, the Dodgers have put one up on the board, and it's now 3-2. Jays over the Dodgers in the top of the sixth.
.454 remaining. Getting last instructions from the respective coaches. Both teams still have their timeouts remaining, and I'm sure they'll be used before it's over with. Birmingham needs to go in the worst of ways right now, Greg, for a lot of reasons. One, you want to win this hockey game.
Yes.
But two, you bring that, you get the monkey off your back of what's gone on, the stink that's been skating around with you for 4 games, and you now know what it takes to get to that next point, over the mountain.
If they can get one here with just under 5 minutes left, Jody, then you got a chance to win this in regulation.
Off the draw, played by Dowler. Far side for Tyler Williams, can't get it out. Youngworth keeps it alive for the Bulls. Centering pass for Phil Adzianko, 2 men on him.
Yep.
And Big Kalilikwa skates away and gives it up for Kuropov. Gets past Gagnon. Loose puck right at that face-off circle, cleared by Youngworth, ahead for Kennedy. Lilliquist on him, easy stick save made by Mundinger. It's played back behind his own net. Jimmy Soper with the puck. Out to center ice. Birmingham will have to come back in their own zone to pick the puck up. Cole Youngworth has it. Quick line changes, too, for Knoxville now. They're out there for 30 seconds until they can just clear the zone in the Birmingham end of the ice, and then they get fresh legs on the ice.
And that's all they're doing. You see they're playing the box in the middle of the ice, Jody, and just one guy skating around looking for plays like that.
Give away to Eric Olson, brings it in. The cross-ice pass, score. Give away again, Greg. This one on the stick of Olson to Gaeta, and that one may be it, Greg.
Well, that's been their MO since the start of the third period, Jody. Knoxville, instead of trying to stretch the ice and make plays out of their zone, they were just content to get it across into the neutral zone, gain the red line, just chip it deep, and they were soft dumps, right? Then they said one guy in about halfway out, and they're just looking for that transition game, intercept passes, and generate your scoring off the turnovers.
Crowd beginning to file out now. They're getting a little as frustrated, I think, as we are, especially if you've been through the first 4 games with us. It's not over. 4-2 is the score. Knoxville has scored 3 unanswered goals to overtake the Bulls' 2-1 lead as this puck comes back into the Birmingham end of the ice, and icing is called. 3:42 to go. Greg, I don't really know what to say, bud, except I'm convinced that when Birmingham looks at the scoreboard and sees something positive on that scoreboard, and then they realize, do you remember what happened the last 4 games? Something snaps, and they revert back to it, and before you know it, 2 giveaways has resulted in 2 Knoxville goals. And instead of being tied at 2, we're looking up at a 4-2 score. Off the draw, that shot never made it through. Puck played along the near side. Doug Scott had it, lost it. Scores free for Jared Cupp, who will skate it back into the Bull zone. Cupp just slides one around, picked up by Gronick. Off the boards and out. Kennedy taps it in deep. Cupp back to get it first, though, for Knoxville. Cupp plays it behind the net for Carson Vance. Branshaw up for Kuzmich. Bounces off of his stick as loose, picked up by Cupp, who has no intention of doing anything other than get it in deep, and he does. Sadowski kicks it around the near side. Branshaw has the loose puck. Those one-on-one battles, Greg, are being won by Knoxville every time. And that comes up with the loose puck. If you can win your one-on-one battles, you're going to do well in the hockey game. Cam Toby in his own zone banks one off the boards and down the ice. This one is going to be icing as it barely hits the side of the net.
Well, that's one of those things, Jody. You talk about those one-on-one battles, and if you've got guys that consistently don't win the one-on-one battles, then the mentality of the other guys out there on the ice is to come over and try and help and cover. And you know what? I get the thought process in that, but the bottom line is you can't do that because now all of a sudden you're leaving another guy open, whether it's a point man who just gets an extra 2 seconds, you know, like we saw on that third goal. You know, it's just, but you can see the Bulls, like in that last play there, Ledzianko, he was between the blue line and the top of the circles, and he had 2 guys on him, and they were absolutely whacking him, just trying to get that puck away. And that's the intense puck hounding you got to have in your own zone, man on man.
Greg, is this growing pains? Is this the result of having 10 rookies on your team?
I think so.
Just not knowing how to be prosperous, not knowing how to take something good and step on the throat of the other teams when you're up?
Well, you grip your stick too tight, Jody. You try and do too much by yourself, and it doesn't work like that. You know, because what that ends up doing is you end up getting nervous, for lack of a better term, and then coughing up a puck. And you know, those are things. It's not systems, it's not breakdowns, it's not whatever. It's just when guys make individual blunders, they just hurt right now.
Well, all the wind has been taken out of sail of the Bulls. You can see it on the ice. There's a loose puck. Popped out to the slot for Olenek, who couldn't control it. Played back behind the net. Kennedy taps it to Sinclair. Near corner, Sinclair back to Phil Ledzianko. Back at the point for Sadowski. Didn't shoot, gave it up for Phil Ledzianko. Takes the shot. That one probably turned aside by the Mundinger. We couldn't see it, but it went into the corner. Played down low. McGregor Sinclair back to Phil Ledzianko. Far side Kip takes the shot, deflected wide. Kennedy behind his net. Carson Vance intercepts his pass. Still tied up behind Mundinger. All but 4 players are fighting for control of the puck. Squirts free, and it's cleared by Knoxville down the ice.
And wide.
Empty net for Birmingham. It goes wide. So the faceoff will come back into the Knoxville zone. 4-2 the score. A minute, 50 seconds remaining. Here in the third period, Birmingham has pulled Hayden Stewart in favor of a 6th attacker.
And this is where you miss a guy like Littlequest, Jody, just to get down there and stand in front of Mundinger. You know what I mean? As your 6th guy, you just want a big meatball in front of the net just to stand there and create havoc.
Face off to the right of Mundinger. Kennedy lost the draw. They tried to clear but couldn't. Nice play by Sadowski to keep it alive. Kennedy has it. Up to point to Sadowski. Near side, Phil Ledzianko. Plays it down low. Centering pass for Olenek, whose shot goes well wide of the net. Played along the far boards by Branshaw and out, getting chased. Look out, here comes Tosto. Empty net. Nice play, but he gets a rebound and scores. A defensive play there. He blocked the initial shot, but the puck went right back to him. That was Phil Ledzianko. Puck went right back to Tosto, who made no mistake, and this one is done. 5-2 now in favor of Knoxville. 4 unanswered goals. I don't know what to say.
Well, great effort by Ledzianko to get down there and get down and block that shot there. But like I said, everybody has to follow suit because you can't have, you know, the Ledziankos doing everything out there. Other guys got to come in.
That's what it's turned into.
I know.
You can see it on the ice. These guys that have shots, like you just mentioned, shoot, and he gave it up to Phil Ledzianko because he knows that's a player that can score. He's questioning whether, the other players are questioning whether they can score or not. So they give it up to people they know can. At least that's what it appears to me. Minute to go, 10 seconds to go as the puck is loose at center ice. Parker Soretsky drops it back for Cole Youngworth ahead off the stick of Karan, gets past Lilliquist. Back behind the net of Stephen Mundinger. Lilliquist lost his stick. Birmingham takes the puck. Youngworth couldn't get it over to Soretsky. Birmingham will have to vacate the zone, and they do. Karan sends it right back in. Under a minute to go here in this third period of play. Lilliquist has it. Just lifts one into center ice and down the ice. This one will be icing with 37 seconds remaining in this hockey game. 5-2 the score. Knoxville out in front. Birmingham led 2-1 at 13:20 of the second period. That means 7 minutes, 30 seconds, 7 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in the second period. Birmingham was well on top of this game, had the momentum, was taking the play to Knoxville and led 2-1. 4 goals later, it's a 5-2 Knoxville win. There's a shot by Wood right off. He got a stick to the face. Save was made by Mundinger. Wood comes off the ice. Kip Ledzianko hops on. Down to 25 seconds. Puck along the far boards. Kennedy has it. Backhands one out in front, trying to hit Kip. Couldn't do it. Knocked away. Loose puck. Far side. Frolov has it. Shot taken by Ledzianko, who's just desperate to get a shot off. It never even got any of the puck. Now Doug Scott had it tipped away from him by Caparelli, and that's going to do it, folks, from the Pelham Civic Complex as the last second ticks off the clock. And the Knoxville Ice Bears continue their dominance over the Birmingham Bulls. They won 4 of 6 games last year against the Bulls and win tonight 5-2. And this one just feels, Greg, like we handed them a win. I know there was one empty net goal caused by 2 giveaways that resulted in goals by Knoxville. And Birmingham didn't deserve to lose this game 5-2. However, and I mean this, however, when you go back and look at the films of this game tonight, Craig Simchuk and Kevin Kerr need to be livid at a couple of players. Oh, yeah. I don't know if that will happen or not, but I do know this. That's what needs to happen.
Well, I know we don't have the same bodies we had night one, Jody, but that's one thing we felt coming out of that first game is every guy left whatever they had on the ice, and you felt like it didn't matter whether it was line 1 or line 3 because all the lines were working and it was almost interchangeable.
Sure.
And tonight it didn't look like that. Tonight you had one line that really was heads and tails above anybody else on the Bulls, and that was Ledzianko's and Kennedy.
Look, I know we missed players like Shane Murphy and Danny Waite. And if you ask me, we missed players as well that aren't here anymore, like a Jared Christie, like Ben Higgins, who opted not to come back. There's a lot of things that are different about this Birmingham Bulls hockey team that we're used to seeing and accustomed to being a part of. I don't know how you find it. Right now, it's not there. We lost another regulation game. This one by the widest margin we've lost all year at 5-2. And well, I guess what I'm trying to say is, Greg, I don't know what the answers are. Do you? Go ahead and say it. I know what you're thinking.
No. Jody, it's one of those things where if it continues, it's the process of pro hockey. You're going to see new faces and new names, and they're going to start coming in the front door, and guys that we see are going to be out the back door. And
that's just professional sports
in general. That's just the life of pro hockey. Well, it is, but you can't fall into the trap of thinking that, hey, I've been here since day one in training camp, and I'm okay because I'm whatever, I was told this or told that. How many times was I on the waiver wire? I mean, that's just life.
Well, the problem that I see is it's natural to say, oh, the kids, the rookies. Sometimes you got to look elsewhere. And you can look at the scorecards, you can look at the stats, you can watch films, you can watch the hockey games themselves. But if you do and do it properly, then everybody's accountable. Everybody.
100%.
So with that said, I do not envy Craig Simchuk and Kevin Kerr. They have, now it's time, Greg, you got to make some decisions now.
Yep.
You're 5 games into this season and still don't have a win. And things are not looking good. The snake bite, whatever you want to call it, the looking at the scoreboard and prosperity just can't seem to live on your team. You got to do something. And I don't know what that is. I hate it because I really do like the makeup of this hockey team.
Oh, yeah.
But something needs to be done. And I'm sure, I know for a fact, it will be done. I just don't know to what extent and who will be involved. But right now, as it stands, Birmingham's in a world of trouble, and this ship needs to be righted immediately. 5-2 the final score, Knoxville over the Birmingham Bulls. Greg, any final thoughts?
When's the next game, Jody?
Next game will be at home next Friday night. I know that's going to be a night where there's a lot of high school football playoffs going on, but I want to know what the difference between, it's interesting to me because you and I both know something needs to happen, whether it's change of a system, whether it's change of lines. I don't know what the answers are. I don't get paid to know that, though. But I want to know the difference in the hockey team tonight versus next Friday night is. I want to see a difference. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
And I know the coaches do as well. And I know the players do. And we saw fans frustrated as well, getting up and leaving with 5 minutes to go, and that's never, never a good sign. So, all right, for Greg Dreveny, I'm Jody Chernesky. Final score once again from the Pelham Civic Complex.